our time to the focus.
Well, we can get to it.
Okay.
So
looking at sea otters.
6 of them here.
That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Sweet. Yes, welcome to.
Sorry,
welcome to
that made me laugh so hard. I had to do that.
It's pretty funny. I dig it.
Welcome to the Church of Failure, everyone. If we sent out the link and announced it,
We did.
Cyan-
You would check it on Twitter.
Cyanide
Yeah.
Happiness Edition, because that was the happiness. Everything else from here on out is just suicidal tendencies.
I disagree. I think the main thrust we're gonna have is it's gonna be pretty good.
So here's the thing. About a couple of hours ago, I linked my boys here to a thread with a guy named Patty's Parlor's Games. Now, Patty Parlor is a great guy. I've hung out with him on his stream. We've talked to games. He's a gamer's gamer, and he makes tabletop RPGs. Okay. And he was responding positively to a guy named White Fox SG about his son having joined his BattleTech game, which is great. Family playing games, kids getting into games early. You know, this is good. This is enthusiasm, right? So Ryan David responds, "No way, Jose. No kids at my table, even my own." And this is, by the way, available if you want to pull this up. You don't have to, because I'm going to give you the rundown. Okay? And they back and forth about this, because Patty's like, well, that's like your opinion, man. Kids are rad, and they're going to grow up be some of the coolest people on the planet, and gaming with them is going to help shape them that way. And Ryan's like, and Ryan's like, I don't know. My now adult daughter begged to play at my tables. No. Hard no. Off to the...
Sorry, Rune, I need to interrupt you. Church,
Okay.
We're not going to Rumble right now.
Are we not?
No.
Well, I mean, Rumble is basically a bunch of hamsters.
I mean,
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay, I
if
don't
you look
think
over
so.
in StreamYards, we're not even sending it over there at the moment.
Weird.
so the thing is...
No, we're gonna get to the Baldo Club in a little
we go.
bit.
That should have fixed it.
The Rumble. Right. So
Okay.
so here's the thing. They go back and forth a bit,
There we go.
and Ryan David's argument is basically that he loves his kids, even though he's estranged from his daughter, but they're not welcome at his table, even as adults. Never. He doesn't want his children to interact with him at his gaming space, like it's, shameful or some shit. Right? Now you ask yourself, why do I care? Why should I give so much of a fuck? Well, the answer is because my parents are dead. All right?
Okay.
My mom is gone. My dad is gone. My old man was rife. He was riddled with fucking neuroses and being a giant asshole. Okay? And them being gone is time I will never get back. That is interactions that are lost to me. My father and I will never have that father-son moment where you come to understand each other a little bit and life is good, right? My mom and I were gonna have many years of wonderful time being together, and that didn't happen because she got sick and died at the height of the fucking pandemic. We ended up imprisoned in our own fucking house due to a plague for the last parts of my mom's life, which is pretty fucking awful, no matter how nice we made it. And here's this person going, well, I value my time, and I don't spend it with my children because my children shouldn't be playing games with me. Blah. So who is Ryan David? Because I know that Ayrton was like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is.
I love you, Rune, but you're going to have to get to the weenie. This is kind of killing my soul.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. So
I'm out of here. It's relapse time.
Raven Wolfgar a couple of weeks ago, and he was pretty bro. We were pretty chill. It was all pretty good. And then he decided, sort of unilaterally, though he didn't speak to me or Wolfgar directly, that people like us were the fucking enemy, because he hooked up with RPG Pundit to try and sell his game Auras, and has basically been engaged in a multi-week process of character assassination on anyone who doesn't agree with he or Pundit about how much of shitty human beings they are. And this man publicly stated, I don't spend time with my fucking children. That's fucking awful. I want this man to suffer. I want physical violence in Minecraft done upon him. I am livid.
You see, Church, this is going to tie into what we're going to be talking about. So it all works.
But see, I knew that this was gonna maybe angry up the church, because church has kids. Church is a father. Church, you love spending time with your kids, don't you?
I mean, I do.
You do.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Church, wouldn't you teach your kids how to play the Magic the Gathering and the Yu-Gi-Oh and play with them when they're of the appropriate age?
Well, when they have the attention span for it, sure.
I mean,
that's what I mean by appropriate age.
I mean, and moving it in the direction of our main story, I suspect you would want to expose them to good comics and get them excited about fucking comics, so that if there were good comics in the future, they'd have good comics to read. Like it's there.
And also make sure your kids can understand, the hypothetical question of, can you imagine if you didn't eat breakfast this morning?
Right. Right.
I don't get the breakfast joke, and I probably never will.
So there was a vid.
No, don't explain it. It's not funny if you explain it.
I mean, it is, but okay.
but to call a close to this.
Sorry, I'm still having technical difficulties. StreamYard is not letting me share Windows Media Player.
Oh, fucking
boo!
Oh no, you have to use
Boo.
VLC.
I have to use what?
DLC?
What the fuck is that?
Oh God, I'll send you a link.
No, not DLC.
So much.
VLC. I have that program. It's
the only media player you need.
Yeah, but to bring a circle to close this sucking chest wound that I've just opened. We here at the church, at the gospel, we're pretty spicy. We're pretty out there. I know that at least some of my friends do not appreciate that I spend my weekends with you guys, because they think that we're awful people who say awful things. But you know what? We love our fucking kids. We care about our goddamn family, and we think other people's families are goddamn important.
I mean, anybody who thinks you shouldn't hang out with us as friends is a sucky person. You should get rid of them.
Yes. I mean, that's an argument to make, but I'm just saying,
because that's also going to be relevant to what we're going to be talking about today too.
I'm just saying, in general, that, like, I am beside myself with rage. It is such a black, dark place in my body to
that's
think
racist.
that, I have lost family and that I can never get them back, and I gotta live with that. I gotta live with the fact that my last words to my parents were in anger, right?
Yeah, I could just stream it.
But you got this person here who's just like, fuck my family, just throw it away. Like fucking Ethan Ralph with a hot dog. Okay, that's a lie. Ethan Ralph has.
He wouldn't throw away a hot dog. Yeah, that's never gonna happen. Come on now.
Put it on a torta.
But he also does not interact with his family, and has defiled 2 women in his life for 2 children he doesn't take care of.
His family doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I mean, they do, because we know they exist because there are lawsuits that assert they exist. Nothing proves you exist more than lawsuits.
That's a good point.
Wait,
what a segue.
Does that mean
that
Mr. July will realize that the world exists when he gets a lawsuit from it?
Well, I mean,
we don't know. There may be an ongoing lawsuit.
Well, there is currently not a lawsuit. There's currently attorneys having a conversation with Eric July. That's assuming Eric, was being honest when he was on Nick's show.
So, to inform everybody who probably already knows, because this is 2-3 days old on the internet now, which means it's ancient.
Oh no, it's not 2-3 days old. It's been ongoing. There's been new content spilling out.
But we're going to cover the initial debacle first.
Stage 1, the debacle.
Well, actually, we have
Oh,
we
go
we
ahead.
did we talked about stage 0, but we need to refresh everybody on the stage 0.
Right. So basically, what happened is there is a conflict ongoing between Mr. Eric July of Young Rippa, Rippaverse, acclaim, and one Mr. Young Clippa, aka Riley the Red Ranger, who we've had on this show, who is objectively an idiot. But Riley,
that's unfair to the idiots of the world.
we love you, Riley. Just a moron. But because Dick Masterson and Vito Giswaldi were not a fan of Rippa's comic, they dug deeper into his claims and then made claims that have not been completely. Go ahead.
Let's kind of focus first on the inciting incident, because the claims come off the exciting incident of Dick and Vito reviewing Isom and saying it's one of the worst things they've ever read, one of the worst comic books that have ever been read. And we have read on this show a lot of bad comics, and that is not fair to Isom.
It is not. Isom is not Skateman.
It is not. No. It's not Lightbringer either.
As good as Skateman.
It's not Lightbringer either. You remember Lightbringer, don't you?
We need to review Lightbringer one of these days.
We do. We have to review Lightbringer and Sonichu, don't we?
Well, let me ask this important follow-up. Did you guys already review Tarot? Because if we're going to review bad comics, we got to dig deep.
We just objectively stated that Dick Masterson was unfair in claiming that Isom was the worst comic book of all time. But I think he was being hyperbolic in the sense of saying that it was hot garbage, which we've said about a number of comic books on this show.
Yes.
I mean, people are entitled to their shitty takes or their hot takes.
We
did we review Isom Chew? We did look at Isom. Yes.
I reviewed a quarter of it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I made it about 10, 15 pages in.
Rune and I powered through the whole thing. And something that came to my realization when I was having a little Twitter back and forth with Mr. Eric July is, wait a minute, he spent a lot of time promoting his future comics in Isom #1. So
you should link that tweet for later.
I'll have to dig that one up because
I'll find it,
I kind of stopped replying to Eric July because I felt sad for him in the replies and the way he was talking and being sketchy. But I did the math. 20% of pages in Isom #1 are dedicated to setting up 3 different comic books.
Here's the thing. I want to be super clear about this. We powered through and read it once for the show. Okay? Larry read through it again, came to me and said, "Hey, I found this page count," and I was like,
and I had actually read it previously for the show, but we all forgot about it.
Right. So I pulled it out, and I read through it. And I counted the pages from start to first word, because the question was, "What's the first thing that Isom says in comic?" Right? And even if you trim out the 4 or 5 variant covers and the first or the thanks for everything page at the front, he doesn't show up or speak before page 8.
And what he says is,
we're joined in the virtual studio by one Mr. Jim Jesus. He is he's more authoritative on the subject of Young Rippa and the ongoing drama than we are. So
Jim had a beef with Rippa before we did.
Mr. Getaway, I will have you know, I am an absolute mad lad.
By the way, I have a very.
Go ahead.
I'm getting feedback. By the way, who's feedback?
It's not mine.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
testicle.
do I have the stream up? Yeah, I do. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, you probably have the stream up.
Professionals here, folks. Way, only professionals on this show.
That Doom was in fact a great game.
Also, you are 100% right,
So what did you need
Brian
to know?
James.
Where are we at?
A parent should absolutely want to spend time with their kids and their hobby. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
we covered a
now I
a
can't hear.
minor thing about board games and kids not being welcome at the table to start off the show, and now we're going through the drama of Young Rippa versus Dick Masterson, and this all starting because Dick Masterson, a famous troll on the internet, said he did not like someone's comic book. Rippa then goes on to feed the troll, and hilarity
But
ensues.
in fairness, he only does this after his fans get involved and pull him in.
Oh yeah, internet communities are the worst.
I mean, they're not communities. They're not even
Rippa's
societies.
fans and Dick's fans. What I'm saying, like internet fans as a group of any particular
can be
creator,
awful.
Most of them are. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, if we had a large group of fans like that, guaranteed a majority of them would be terrible human beings.
Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if like we were famous?
No.
But that'll never happen.
No. I mean,
well, how famous are we talking about?
Famous enough that we can get Elon bucks, because Elon bucks seem to flow easier than YouTube bucks.
Okay, I think you can get Elon bucks without being like recognized everywhere you go. Like if you were like Taylor Swift famous, like everywhere.
Yeah,
you went, everybody was.
I would only want to be as famous as BC14.
Yeah, I'd be fine with someone like like a Wayne Coin, where like maybe like if I go to the store, one person might recognize me.
I hate to posit we can't be Taylor Swift famous because we don't have Taylor's talents. All two of them in front and the third one in back.
Well, that's not true. Taylor Swift is very smart. She was able to stop Sam Bankman-Fried from corrupting her business empire, unlike dozens of other people.
Oh, fuck. Can we talk about comic books? I don't want to talk about fucking Taylor Swift. God damn it.
I'll give credit where credit's due if you're actually capable. I was just being giddy for a joke.
All right. So, Jim, with that brief introduction of where the hilarity began to ensue, where did you come into this? What was your prior?
I guess I was sort of a fan of Eric. I mean, I had some like mistake. There's been missteps for me in my view along the way. I remember when he just got onto the scene, like he uploaded a rap video, which I'm an anarcho-capitalist, obviously, by the CEO of Anarchistan.
And that was what he built his brand on, that anarcho-capitalist, libertarian, like, why should I pay for this when I don't use it kind of mindset.
Sort of. And so like he was doing he did like a rap video, and I was like, that's pretty good. Like, that's really good. Then he started a band, and I was like, not my thing. Like the type of music that he was playing was definitely not my thing. And I'm also not a real big fan of, like hip hop is a little bit different because hip hop is supposed to be kind of preachy. Whereas other forms of music, when they start getting preachy, it's like, it's eye rolly. It's like, oh God, come on. Do I really need to have a message every time I hear a good song? But either way, like I didn't like the genre of music, and I kind of said as such, and he got a little ass mad about that. I'm like, dude, I'm some dude with like 1,000 Twitter followers. Why do you care? Like, why are you going after me? And a lot of people were kind of, even a lot of his stands were kind of like, I don't know why you're dunking on this dude. He just doesn't like your music. He's fine with you though. Why are you throwing so much shade at him?
This is going to be a recurring theme for later.
Shit. Holy shit!
What?
There's a video on his channel about teach me how to Dougie. Holy fuck! Anyways,
was it the cowboy? Or he's wearing the cowboy hat?
Oh, hold on, I'm clicking on it. Anyways, continue.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to share that, Ayrton.
Then I kind of was on his team again when like the Fakertarians were going after him and accusing him of like sympathizing to the alt-right, which is like insane, an absolute insane like thing to say. And so I kind of like I joined his like member thing, and it was more kind of like I was just kind of like a fan in passing, and I don't really care about comics. That's why I usually bring Larry onto my show anytime comics are involved.
Right.
So I was just kind of like, whatever, I don't really care. And then when I started finding out that he was like filing DMCA's against people, I was like, this guy's supposed to be an anarcho-capitalist. Anarcho-capitalists are very much against the idea of intellectual property. And usually the kind of libertarians who are for intellectual property have like this weird stance where like, well, it's like, well, I'm going to sell you something, but I'm going to make you sign a contract that says that if you release it, you're going to be liable for stuff. And it's like, why would anyone sign that when the consequences for piracy are zero? Why would I pay to have legal liability when I can just pirate it and not have any consequences in Ancapistan because there's no copyright laws?
Yep.
So it doesn't make any sense. Like that's the anarcho-capitalist copyright thing. And he made a video where he was trying to justify like, well, you know, you sign up for, you know, these services and
but
they make
also
you sign this thing. You know,
he never said he did the DMCA. That's another thing we need to be clear about.
No, he did.
Oh, he did eventually?
Oh no, he did. He did eventually admit it.
No, he did a video
And
where he was explaining his position on intellectual
why
property.
he did it. Like he
why
OJ'd it.
Yeah.
if I had DMCA'd it, this is why I would have done it.
Yeah.
See,
But here's
you should know that doesn't work because that didn't work for OJ.
Hold on. If here's what I didn't know to begin with, though, is that anarcho-capitalists don't believe in intellectual property. That's actually kind of new to me.
Yeah,
because I'm like a little L libertarian. My whole philosophy is I don't really give a shit. Just keep the government as far away from me as humanly possible. Like I just don't give a fuck. But just keep the government as far away from me as humanly possible. Like taxation is fucking theft. I just fuck them.
Taxation's
stay away from me.
It's extortion technically.
If you really want to get into,
I didn't know about the intellectual copyright thing.
We're deep in the woods. We can, but that would take up a lot of time. The basic idea is like libertarians have this view of property rights that does not fit. That, you know, like it has to be something that's rivalrous. Like I have to be able to like have a disagreement or some kind of conflict with you if you take it, right? So if you take my bicycle, I don't have a bicycle. If you take a copy of my book, I still have my book. You just have a copy of it. So that's kind of the view of the libertarian kind of position. It's not able to fit into the realm of property. I actually
do like that because I do like that because it does come back around to my beliefs on intellectual property in comic books, whereas eventually you need to put the characters on the shelf and let people do with what they're going to do with them and make new characters, because these, you know, having Spider-Man around since the 60s, having Batman around since the 30s, having Superman around since the 30s, it's fucking insane. Like there's only so many stories you can tell before you start fucking destroying what the initial character was. Therefore, you're not even writing the same character anymore.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has. I don't think anybody supports the current state of intellectual property. Not even Disney, because Disney wants longer, right? I think everybody kind of looks at it as like there's too much overstep. If we could go back to like the way it was, kind of more towards the founding, where things run out after 10 or 20 years, like that'd be fine.
Well, that's what I want to throw out there real quick. Is I don't think I have a problem with the concept of intellectual property rights. Because you made the comparison, you said that it doesn't work for property because, like, if you steal my thing, you know, you stole it. But if you steal my book, I still have it. Well, for my purposes, in my family, my dad used to say that his vehicle was like his horse, and you don't steal a man's horse because that's your livelihood. That is a fundamental survival aspect you can't do without, right? So that's my property. You try to take my horse, try to take my life, I'll kill you, right? But common sense intellectual property law is not bad. Like, as you say, if it ran out after a set number of years that was logical, that could work. Because that's saying you've made your money, now it's time to give it to the people to make their money if they can, right? I think we can all agree that's open. But that's at least a thing to discuss.
Yeah, but your bad business model is not my problem. And most people who like pirate stuff usually don't are not going to buy your stuff anyway. You're basically losing things on the margin. Like I would pirate ISOM. Would I buy ISOM? Not in a million years. That's not anything I'd be interested in at all. Because I can pirate it, I'm kind of interested in like seeing what it is all about, since I'm criticizing the guy who does it.
And there's also the theory that if you pirate something, even if you don't buy the initial product, you'll be attracted. Maybe you'll have a better chance of being attracted to the property. You might be more inclined to buy a hat with Isom on it.
There's been lots of bands that I found through piracy and started buying albums from. So that is
right.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I gave so many computers AIDS back in the day and became fans of the bands that did it.
Yeah.
Circling back around, so we don't take too fucking long into this, but that leads us to today. So we have the DMCA thing, and now we have the ongoing issue of not Nick Rekieta, but Dick Masterson's fans and Eric July's fans bringing things to a head and doing stupid shit. And that leading to tension between them. And now it has involved internet lawyer / whiskey connoisseur.
Well, hold up. We have to. We're bearing the lead on. We're bearing the lead a little bit on Nick. So
I fucking hate you so much right now, Larry.
Well, I mean, we're bearing the lead. We're bearing the lead on the nose. We're bearing the lead on the nose because there's a church that their abbreviation is ISOM, and they pursued legal issues with Eric July, sent out a letter, and Nick, as a legal commentator, made legal commentary about it. And then the situation escalated with Riley not getting his super chats read by Eric July. And then Riley decides, like an absolute man, to drive to Eric July's place of business. Now,
with the intention of his arm hair.
Yes, that's the gag. It's the gag. But here's an interesting thing for everybody to think about. You know why Riley was able to go to Eric July's place of business, possibly?
Because it's public property?
No. Well,
no, a more interesting reason.
How he found out.
If you DMCA somebody, you have to send paperwork and eventually the DMCA process to say, no, this is fair use. So let's say, I don't know, Rippaverse LLC is the person sending the DMCA in, and they register their corporate addresses where you got to send everything to. He knew how to go there and put his super chat on Eric July's wall because Eric July DMCA'd him.
He did take $20 to it.
Now, this might strike some viewers as harsh, but I believe everyone involved in this story should die.
God bless Norm. So Eric July started making some comments about, pulling some sovereign citizens lingo out and saying that, he could just shoot somebody. And Nick Rekieta says, no, dummy, you can't. Well, hold up, Brian. Hold up. We're getting to that. We're getting to that.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're getting to that because what Riley did is he went on a public venue because it's a business. There's no post and no trespassing sign. There's no gates. So he went into a public parking lot. He went to the front of the building and he put stickers and a $20 bill on there with writing on the $20 bill. And Eric July made some things that could legally be implied to be threats, and Nick was like going, "That's dumb."
But that's all covered in the context of what
we'll get there.
Talking about.
Right. But this is what gets into Nick and Eric fighting
so fucking much.
Because Eric July gets mad at Nick and then invades Nick's show and goes into Nick's chat and demands to talk to Nick.
Did he demand to talk to him?
He did.
Yes.
He did. He went into the chats on Rekieta's show and demanded to talk to Rekieta, who he has Rekieta's personal phone number.
So send me the link.
Hold on. I need to say something. Like, so if someone files a DMCA against you, you don't get their address.
But you have to send in the stuff.
Right. If you file a DMCA, you have to send YouTube the address. YouTube does not deliver the address until the other person counter submits. So like if you have if you get DMCA'd, it just says who DMCA'd you. It doesn't tell you the address. You can appeal it, and if they go, no, we're gonna take this to court, then you get their address. So there had to have been some escalation behind I think that's what happened. So just to clarify, because I want to make sure that's clear. Because I even went and checked some of the DMCA's that I received. I never got an email or an address with this. So. Okay.
Yeah. So
All right.
anyway, now
So this
now
is-
we got everything set up for the
We're
notes.
We're gonna skip the fluff and we're gonna go straight into it. I have this set at 1.25 speed. Tell me if you want me to stop for any particular reason, and here we go.
I don't need to. Here is Eric. I'm bringing you in. You already give me a thumbs up. All right.
Nick
Hey, man,
Rekieta
what's
on
shaking?
meth, everybody.
What's up? What's up, man? What's up?
Too much drama, man. Too much drama, and I think there's a lot of misunderstanding going on. But look, let's just be out with it. Be fully frank. I'm good with that. I wanna bury all this shit because I hate this stuff. So, what you got for me, man?
Oh no, I figured that instead of like talking around it and talking at audience and all that good stuff, I figured that why not talk directly? Definitely, if I'm saying something about you or you saying something about me, I figure why not talk directly. I've been with you on that. I think this whole kind of ordeal is gay and should be ended. However, I think in order for that to kind of be on the table, if that's something that we both want, you remember I told you this initially, we need to be honest about it and let's not act like this is one of those, hey, this is this guy versus that guy thing. That's not what this is. I didn't start this.
Definitely did not.
I had nothing to do with any of that. But yeah, it's reached kind of a level that is, it's gay. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, and to be very clear, I don't know if you heard or saw, or maybe you did and you didn't think it was genuine, and I don't know. But I did say that, Riley going to your place of business, while I don't think it was illegal, and we may have some disagreements over that, and there may be details that I can't see in regards to the property, but from what I've seen, I don't think it's illegal, but I did say, bad move, he shouldn't do it, given the tension. I think it's a really, really bad play.
Another thing that I think we missed out on is there were threats made to aerate the gentleman he's referring to, Riley, for
Well, no,
putting
I
a sticker with a $20 bill.
I had mentioned he threatened to do violence to him.
Well,
I
yes,
did not. I did not clarify the extent of the threat of violence.
Yes, it was bad.
I think it's time. I got a bag of tortilla chips here, and I got a thing of bean dip. I think I'm just gonna settle in and
hang out with you
snacks while I watch the shit show.
I don't like people doing that shit. I wouldn't want them doing it to me either. I get it. So that was a thing I said last night when it was brought up to me. I wasn't aware of it until someone super chatted, and I had to look at. I might have seen it or something, but someone super chatted, and I addressed it right then in my last stream. So I do not think he should have gone to your place of business at all. But at the same time, if people ask me about legalities, specifically self-defense, I'm going to give my legal opinion. That's still true. And I think right before that I saw that you were in chat, I was saying that there are two practicalities, right? There's what you can legally do, and then there's what you should and shouldn't do. And I think what Riley did is something you shouldn't do. Mm-hmm. So I want to be very clear on that.
And I'm cool with that. There is a point of contention there.
If you can pause for a moment,
I'm at least familiar enough with it.
Can you pause for a moment?
As well as
Man, I should start watching Eric July videos at 1.5 speed.
Now, does Eric July look like he's cool with that? Does he sound like he's cool with that?
No, there's obvious animosity from the very beginning of this.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
I do have Eric July in my follows. He always sounds confused to me. That's just a thing that's always bothered me.
But Rune, I do have an important question for you. Can you imagine if you didn't eat breakfast this morning?
I was just thinking about that.
Hold on, let me get the banner up for Rune. All right.
Let's resume.
I don't know why this happens to me, man.
Well, that's what's actually happening on it. Again, my issue with it is less legal versus illegal anyway. But again, I do question that whole legality aspect of it all because, I make the argument, and certainly everybody here is making the argument that for sure, definitely considering at nighttime, that is criminal mischief, right? Definitely because he's writing on stuff and he's putting notes up and all that stuff.
Hold up.
And
Pause,
in Texas,
pause.
if you don't know.
Now, again, Nick is immediately going, wow, this is a really stupid argument. I need to figure out how to dial this argument back.
Well, he did.
I need to tell him to shut up without telling him to shut up.
Here's the thing.
No, his face is saying, nigga, what?
Here's the thing, though. If we follow body language, he did at least think about it for a minute. He's like, is that criminal mischief? Well, it might be, but maybe not, because
But also,
it's never black and white like that.
Yeah, but also, from an anarcho-capitalist standpoint, Jim, what's your opinion about the criminal mischief statute?
Well, okay, so if you're vandalizing property in any kind of respect, then that's not good. What he did, I would not call vandalism.
Okay.
Well, no. Nick gets into that, but what I'm saying is, Jim, how's criminal mischief normally used by the state?
I'm not sure.
It's normally used to go after people who are.
It's you being a dickhead in public and they don't like it.
Yeah, and it's rarely things like someone just like spray painting things. It's like, listen, you've done something we want to arrest you for, but we can't really clearly define it. It's criminal mischief.
Yeah. It's or meddling. That's another one that they like to use too.
Yeah. Or in Florida, the great one is resisting arrest without violence.
Well, you know what? Eric would have gotten away with it if it weren't for those meddling fatzos. So.
Don't know.
Oh, and you can see here, his arms really do need to be shaved.
Yeah, they
Riley's
do.
trying to do him a favor.
You can, by the way, and this is what not anything that I'm advocating. Right? I want to be very, very clear about that. But definitely because we're talking about the legality of deadly force and all that good stuff in Texas. You're committing a criminal mischief at night. You absolutely have the right. It's right there in Section 9 of the Texas Penal Code.
I have a question.
You can read it verbatim and specifically.
Has Eric ever done an ad read for manscaping? If so, they should get their money back.
He is not, but I think he could be good. He could do like a before ad and then an after ad. I think that could be great.
Yeah. Okay.
And I just love how he proclaims himself this big anarchist, thinker and mover and stuff like that. But quoting Texas Penal Code at the lawyer,
Well, I think the whole point that they're trying to be fair, which I shouldn't be, given my interactions with the guy. To be fair, they're discussing the law and whether or not he has a legal case for shooting Riley, which he doesn't, because whatever case he may have had, he ruins here, which we'll get into when he actually says it.
Because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
This is you being able to use deadly force for someone committing criminal mischief at night on your property. So, but however, that aside, because that was never really on the table. The argument about that, I don't know if you're more so hearing that from be it our audiences or something of that nature as far as deadly force. The only argument that I've made is that it is irrational for someone that does not want to be there, that people don't want to be there, right? And there is more information on that for someone to come there, right? Definitely with us having armed guards there and committing any sort of weird stuff. That's just not rational for anybody, especially people that considering that I'm not there and you're dealing with other people and their individual livelihoods. Because
what
Rippa expects me to believe that the Rippaverse offices are so vital. They have armed guards.
Well, I mean, you can hire armed security, Rune.
No, I mean, I'm sure the property that he doesn't own because he just owns an office or he rents an office.
He rents an office.
It's a warehouse.
Has some kind of security, right? But that's not how he parsed it. He presented it like, well, breaking into my office is my boys might roll up on you. It's like, wait, what?
I don't know. I heard it as in.
I think maybe the industrial park he's in has armed security, like most industrial parks do.
Which is,
but I think he's implying though that they'll roll up for me because I pay my rent.
Because the thing is that anyone who knows about guards, armed or otherwise, knows that the primary purpose of security is to identify and report, which means that they'll walk up and say, "Hey, what are you doing here?" When you say, "Oh, I'm fucking with the Rippaverse offices," they'll be like, "Sir, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to leave," and they'll have their hand on their gun, not "I'm gonna shoot you."
That's not how armed security works in this situation. They'll say, "Give you 5 minutes to leave," and then you call the cops and say, "Hey, we're trespassing a dumb fat bastard."
Right. I mean, I'm just saying, it's not like the security there has a gun and is ready to go at all times to commit a murder.
No, they're in Dallas. They so do have guns at all times ready to shoot somebody.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Dallas, Rune?
But it's solidly a matter of like when you go, "Okay, I'm leaving," before you get out, "I'm leaving," they go, "He's resisting," and then they shoot you. Not that they shoot first and ask questions later.
No, but I heard this more as he hired private security for his particular office warehouse space.
I mean that might still be, but it's not
because
it's
wait,
not murder boys. It's private security.
No, but you'll get to it later. The complex he's in doesn't sound like a completely gated off complex, which is common.
Well, I mean, it is
in Dallas, which is
and
common
also
in
for
Dallas.
industrial parks.
Yeah,
right. No, I get you.
Like,
It's just something that stood out to me as weird. I'm sorry for dragging things down.
Because look, you might think it's a joke and it's all good and all fun and games, Nick, but for
no,
us,
I clearly stated I don't think that it was a good thing to do.
right.
Like
And I just want it to be clear that I definitely, as a business owner, cannot afford to treat it as if it's just, hey, it's something that's a joke and it's just jokes, bro. Definitely considering that, again, I'm not ever there, and that is a building that other people don't like weird folks doing weird stuff, be it to the building, because nobody knows if it's going to escalate to anything else. And I don't know these cats. But that's not something that I would take lightly, either way it goes. So legality aside, that is
that's lawyer
something that I think is just weird and kind of off the wall.
What now?
I was going to say that's just lawyer advice speak that he's saying. Like, I don't know what you can tell. Like, he talked to a lawyer about this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But what he says later is definitely probably the thing that the lawyer told him not to say, and he says it multiple times.
Well, that's what I've said about this situation more than once. Is like, if I was his lawyer, I'm just sitting at my desk crying, going, "Stop talking, just stop talking."
Oh, just wait, Rip.
Yeah.
It gets worse.
Yeah, just wait.
yeah, of course, and obviously.
But it does get worse.
The law doesn't matter if you've got a hole in you, right? Like, it doesn't matter for that guy. That guy's dead. He's done. And people who do that, again, Alex Stein does that shit. I'm not a big fan of that. I like when he goes to the public meetings. I think that's funny. But when you go into other people's businesses and into other people's lives, I mean, you are taking risk, legal, not legal. No bones about that. But I gotta, but one, I'll affirm what you said. Texas does have a use of deadly force in defense of property against criminal mischief only at night. I'm unclear. Did he show up at night or during the day?
Because that whole deal where he left the markings and all the drawings and stuff on it, that was at night.
That's at night. Like, what time of night? What time? I'm
not exactly. It was around like 11, something like that. It was well within the night. The sun was completely down.
Yeah, it's like pretty well. The video is well lit. I don't know where the light's coming from.
Well, no, not when he stuck that. I mean, maybe it was well lit in terms of the light, but it was clear at night when he did it. There was no. He didn't. The only thing that he did was kind of weird. He kind of drove in and he backed up and he drove past it during the day and took a picture. But other than that, that was it. He never did anything like that during the day. That was at night. There was nobody there.
Timothy, just wait. We'll get to that.
I don't know, so I'm taking your word at it, full faith. Like, I have no problem accepting that it was at night. I wanted to clarify from someone who knew, because, like I said, from the video, it's never clear how lighting shit plays out. So, with that said, though, the funny part about law is like there are disagreements over stuff that many people find obvious. And I got to take one issue with you just on the criminal mischief, which is what Texas calls vandalism. Criminal mischief almost always requires some level of damage or burden on someone. So I think you're running a real risk with suggesting that stickers on a window is going to come out to be criminal
According
mischief.
to the penal code, though, it's specific.
Now, my question is, did he look up and reference criminal mischief?
Yes.
Or was he told that by a lawyer?
It might be a little A, a little B.
Specifically says markings include inscriptions, slogans, and drawings. That's all.
Yeah.
So whether it's damage, I mean, if you're talking about damage, yes, that's included.
Huh?
He was talking about graffiti. That's not what he did, though. Like, what he did was tape some stickers up.
Yeah,
that and the way Eric moves when you put it at 1.25 speed makes him look really gay.
Well, he's uncomfortable. he knows he's really on shaky ground, but he's trying to word it in such a way where it's loose enough where it sounds like he could be saying something he's not really.
Yeah,
saying.
that's why he keeps saying putting drawings and markings.
Well, they drew a message. They wrote a message and drew bunnies on the money, from what I understand.
Well,
but they didn't draw it on his property. He's trying to make it fuzzy, by saying it that way.
In addition, if he did get legal advice, right? There's a bunch of questions that aren't stated here. Like, if he spoke to a lawyer, is that lawyer in Texas? Is it a criminal attorney? Right? If it's not, is there a differentiation between where the lawyer he spoke to is from and their legal codes and Texas legal codes? This is why you don't talk about potentially ongoing or to be done litigation, because anything you say can be used, right? And your lawyer wants the free time and freedom of movement to get their shit in order before they have to commit to something they've already said.
I hope if I'm ever prosecuted for anything that they do not find this show. We have to keep the viewers under 30.
Also, he could have Googled can I shoot somebody who fucks with my business?
Right.
And there could have been like a law firm that had like a pat answer on that.
And in the pre-show before Rippa comes on, Rekieta does cover the Kyle Kareth shooting, and he does speak on how he and Andrew Branca would go to Andrew Branca to be the authority in self-defense and shooting situations, especially like in Texas, because well, I mean, the man literally wrote the book on it. So, but here we go.
Included, if you can break the window and do all that good stuff, obviously that is completely obvious. And I'm willing to accept a disagreement, but certainly our guys on that side don't see it that way. And to be honest, I think that's what matters. However, and it's not like, again,
it's not what matters though, because what matters is what a prosecutor sees, right?
Exactly.
And how the law is played out. And so I'm gonna offer a mild rebuttal and simply say that inscriptions, markings, and stuff like that is referring to graffiti, to marker, to something that's actually applied to the property that would take some sort of effort to remove. And if you read a little farther into the statute, you'll actually see them explain that there has to be some sort of pecuniary loss or economic burden in either the damage to the property or the removal from the property. And mere incidental annoyances in removing something like a sticker doesn't usually measure up. Now, of course, there are some stickers, right? That a huge sticker that you slap on, you got to hire someone to like use solvents and shit to remove it. These look like relatively small stickers that would pop off without any effort. I think you'd be on real shaky ground. Not you, sorry, you weren't there, but anyone would be on real shaky ground trying to justify putting a hole in someone over those stickers, or even suggesting that a prosecutor would, or a cop even would write an infractionary ticket on this misdemeanor offense. Like, there's no way, man. It's not spray paint.
Well, again, it's not necessarily we see it that way. Definitely considering that there were drawings that were actually there, and there's some weird stuff that was read on it, and I'm not going to sit up here wrote on it. I'm not going to sit here and repeat it by any means, but I see that that being your.
Still not reading your fucking super chat, Riley. Yeah. Fuck you.
What would have been funny, like, if Eric had a good sense of humor about it, instead of like reading the notes on the $20 bills for the super chat, if he just held them up to the camera and then just put the $20 in his pocket.
I mean, I would have respected Eric for doing that. That would have been powerful.
Or if he like tucked it like down in his tank top, like when you put a 20 in a stripper's cleavage, like, make a joke out of it.
But he's trying to insinuate something that's not happening. He's trying to put that out there so that people can interpret it another way. Because what he's also saying is there's messages on the things that I don't want to repeat. What does that mean? Exactly. Most people, when they hear that, they're like, "Is that threats? Is that like something?"
He said,
like,
"Neighbor."
What's going on?
Well, obviously,
did he say, "Hey, Eric, I found out you actually lied about all your college stuff, and I got proof"?
I mean, there's
because that's an allegation that has emerged in all of this.
Yeah, I mean, he did not go to college. That was not true.
I mean, there's obviously implications that are trying to be asserted, but I've always taken it away to suggest that he's trying to infer that there's a conspiracy against the Rippaverse. That anyone that doesn't like it is part of some kind of cartel of people stretching all the way back probably to mainstream comics who just hate what he's doing.
So you're saying Dick is the godfather of the anti-Rippaverse mafia? And,
no, I'm implying
we've got a paranoid conspiracy angle going on.
Please don't.
He's the foot soldier of the Dons.
This makes me feel good.
Hold up! Don't tell Dick Masterson that, because he will totally eat that up.
But it's so good. Anyway,
like I said, I'm not the mastermind. I'm part. I'm one of the puppets of the mastermind.
I can't show up. I can't believe
spray paint and be like, "Do I look like a guy with a plan?"
I can't believe Eric July is about to be Dick Masterson's Zoe Quinn for Comicsgate.
About the messages on the money.
So let's hit the play button.
In your sort of position, and that it's always been the case, or you feel like that's generally the case, of to justify putting a hole or attempting to put a hole in someone. Our guys don't see it that way, and I've seen people get aired out for a lot less. However, I don't even think
I would highly suggest an alternative opinion on council if you think a sticker with a $20 bill under it justifies.
So look at the panic in Nick's face.
because here's the thing. Nick is a lawyer and he's bound by professional obligations under the Minnesota bar. And if someone's talking about legal stuff like this and he doesn't say, hey, I think your lawyers aren't doing you good, man, you should probably seek out alternative counsel. He could be, get an ethics flag. Yep. And he's currently in the middle of a legal issue that involves his ethics with the Minnesota State Bar, among other things. So Nick, in this context, also has to be mindful of what his attorney would tell him. And his attorney would tell him, bro, someone's going to cite this video of you telling Eric July, yeah, man, put a hole in whoever you want. So Nick is a man who understands.
I've been following Nick Rekieta for a long time, and since the Masterson-Maddox lawsuit. And I honestly feel like once he got into the groove of what he does now, this has kind of always been who he was. Like, as soon as somebody said something that was like wildly illegal, regardless of whether or not he was involved in any legal situation or not, he's always been like, whoa, wait a minute.
But also when you go to law school, you're trained in legal ethics, and if you're an ethical attorney, you tell people, I mean, if that's what your lawyers are telling you, I don't know all the facts of your case, but I highly recommend you get a lawyer in your area to review the facts in your case and see if they agree with this opinion, because I don't think they will.
Look, Larry and I are a couple of nerds. I think I know Larry well enough to assert this. And there's a common proverb that we have come to know very well that I think applies here. Rekieta doesn't like to plan too far ahead because words like premeditated start getting thrown around.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's not the argument, though. That's where I think the gaslighting is, though, Nick, because that's not the position.
Hold up.
He's being gaslit.
He's being gaslit. Gaslighting isn't real. That's just a stupid word you made up.
That
there you go.
I'm trying to make the argument.
Yes, but that came literally like 2 minutes after. that came literally like 2 minutes after Ayrton calling Zoe Quinn. That's just so good.
And also, you look at how sad Nick looks right now, because he only had one drink during this entire segment with Eric July.
He's like, I want to need
we're about to see the exact moment where he realizes he's talking to a moron.
Argument that should justify putting a hole in someone. What I'm talking about, and what the only argument it is that I'm making in this regard, because again, shooting someone over a sticker, that would be silly. Though it wasn't simply that. I think it's being kind of disingenuous to even just kind of classify it as, oh, this guy just merely, just being funny, just put a little.
Eric
put a
wishes Riley had a
that was, he just threw on there, and like that, there was nothing being said or no drawings or any of that had anything to do with
equation. I don't know what the was there a threat of violence?
Well, yeah, of course, there's been actionable threats, and my argument, but even that
threat.
The reason the guy was there was because of that. He's recorded himself on video saying that, well, this is supposedly an actionable threat. Whether you now the argument is that we think
Riley's retarded. Right. His legal opinions are irrelevant.
Well, no, I'm saying that's what, all right. So
what is a threat? He's burying the lead on purpose.
Yeah.
I just love how nonchalantly Rekieta goes, well, Riley's retarded. What's the actual threat?
like if you're gonna come on here and say like I'm what's going on, like, okay, so Nick
this is gonna end up in this guy getting shot,
and he's saying like what's going on. That should be something you should lead with. It's like there's this guy who has made threats against me, against my life, and against my employees' lives.
Yeah.
Then it should be like, oh, okay, well, then everything makes sense.
Yes.
But the thing is he's not saying he made threats against his lives. He's implying to the threats against his arm hair.
Yeah.
The thing, though, is that that would show an escalation. If a guy says, well, I'm going to do something, and then he shows up at your offices, and you show that line of progression, then there's no wiggle room for bullshit and outrage media. That's scary. That's a thing.
Just existing in a space isn't illegal still.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you can't put a hole in somebody that's not actively trying to shave your arm hair.
Even then, like Eric could just say like part of his made up Rippa religion means he can't shave any hair on his body below the neck. And then if Riley did try and shave his arm hair, it would be a hate crime. Like that's all he has to do.
Wait a minute.
We don't have hate crimes in Texas.
Yeah.
Let's just
let's get back to this. We got power through this, guys. We got power through
someone drive across the country to appear at a business that again isn't public. And when I say it's not public, Rekieta, I'm not saying that someone can't access it That's not the argument it is that I'm making. I'm saying that this is not something that there's no commerce happening there, right? In that specific building that we are at. The only way that you can get in, there are two ways that you can get in. There's a gate, there's a private gate that you can get in that way, or you can drive. There is a road where you can kind of drive in, but that does not face. It's not a road.
You can drive into a driveway into the parking lot, right?
Yeah, you can drive into a driveway into the parking lot, and that's why our stuff is strategic. Huh?
Is there a gate on that driveway into the parking lot?
No. There's not into that parking lot. No, there's no gate. The gate is around on the other side, which is the only other way to access it. However, where we're at, you cannot drive. There's no place to go going that direction towards our building. That will be.
We gated in the backyard for the dogs, but the front yard totally open to the public.
And like you can't. There's no reason to be over there other than, let's say again, you're coming to see us, you're invited or something of that nature. There's no drive-through. Like our building is sectioned that way, the way that it is.
What if your GPS what if your GPS fucks up and you have to turn around in that driveway to find the McDonald's you're trying to get to?
You better hope Rippa's not there to pull up on you.
Do they have arm hair sandwiches at McDonald's now?
Look, I just want to say all of this talk about Rippa's massive arm hair makes me more amused at a clip that Larry showed me earlier, where somebody was saying that Eric's arguments are like the Wookiee defense; they don't make any sense. Clearly, Eric July is a shaved Wookiee.
Damn it, Rune! Now I need to take this whole gay ass shit, cut out just Eric's audio, and just put Chewbacca sound effects on it and upload it to the channel.
We'll call it the remastered stream. We'll premiere it like it's an actual show. We'll just take that week off.
You son of a bitch. That's how much work that's going to be to sync up.
That is there, and that's it.
Those
You
sound
cannot
effects.
drive through our building to get, or our side of that building to get somewhere else. That's not how.
Is there a gate blocking off that side of the building?
Yes, correct. On that side, there absolutely is a gate blocking both sides, actually, because on the end of that street, or not a street, I guess that road, whatever you want to call it, it is the drive, the parking lot, right, if you will. There are two gates on either side. This is why he drove through, had to turn around to get out, because that's the only way that you can get in or out on that particular side.
Yeah, so it's how parking lot
Wait,
work.
clarify, please. Sorry, can you? You said at first
Can
there's
you
a gate on
just
one
answer
side,
a
but the
yes
other
or no
side didn't have a
question
gate and
with
there's
a yes or
driveway
no
for the
answer?
Correct.
No.
That side is still the same.
Fuck's
But
sake.
I mean, you have to see it, is what it is that I'm saying.
You have a picture?
How would you feel if you didn't have breakfast this morning?
But Jim, I had breakfast this morning.
No, that's not what I asked.
I filled up on cookies.
It took a long time to bake those 6 million cookies.
Really, I've commented on this before. One of my problems with this is not what he's saying, because I get what he's getting at, right? Is that there are only two approaches to the offices. One of them is behind a gate you have no business jumping, and the other one on the other side appears to be open and has a parking slot, but there's no reason to go there unless you're going to the Rippaverse offices. I get it.
But
he doesn't fucking say that.
Also, here's the
parking
thing:
lot's not exclusive to that business.
No,
Yes.
Obviously that's why he doesn't want to say it, because that would be credencing that somebody could walk up there with business other than.
But Nick,
Can
is an
somebody
attorney,
link the-
and he's
can
going to
somebody
pull
link
that
the
out.
Google Earth to me so I can actually see what he's trying to describe. Because I cannot find find it.
Wait, you mean the publicly available global shot of the offices that would verify what this looks
I'm
like?
certainly not showing it online. I do have one for sure. And I'm sure.
Can you
people have
privately
looked at
send it to me? I won't pull it up. Can you message it to me?
I guess, yeah. But I'm gonna explain how it is that it is. Yes, Nick, you can get to it from the road.
I will send you a picture, but let me finish describing it to you in great detail first.
Road, and there's no gate there. What I'm saying is the only other way to get in is a gate on the opposite side. So, for example, our building is at the end of this lot.
Like,
if you want to,
the way he's describing
my house
all
has
this,
a front door, but the only other way to get in is through the back door.
This is just retarded.
like the way he's describing all of this, I'm confused. I don't understand what his building looks like. The way he's been describing.
I told you at the very beginning.
Hold on,
it's an office building.
Give me a second.
It's an office building. It's got a gated-in backyard for the dogs, and the front door is open to the public.
But look at that look on Nick's face.
We're not quite there yet. We're getting there, but this is almost the exact point. He realizes he's talking to a complete fucking
What are you,
moron.
gay?
If you want to call it that, you can get out during that lot, but there are 2 gates on both sides, right? That's the only way you can get in, and the only way you can get out without driving through the side that the idiot came from, right?
But
that's what I'm saying.
I know
There,
this is so
that's
confusing
the
'cause now
moment.
you're saying there's gates on either side.
So
right, that's the only way you can get in, and the only way you can get out without driving through the side that the idiot came from, right?
But
that's
oh damn it! Holy
you
shit!
have
He does have this registered to a
Okay.
PO box. Holy fuck!
All right, so
All right.
there is a publicly accessible driveway leading into the complex where his warehouse is. There are 2 other exits that are always gated off, but there is one entrance and exit that the public can use. How does that have any bearing on what's going on? It's not like he's trespassing.
He didn't jump the back
It's-
fence. No, he pulled up to
Right.
the front door. So
He
he
went into
wasn't
the
trespassing.
public
No, but you don't
entrance.
understand. There is a fence he could have jumped over.
Well, no. See, here's the thing of it, because this is why you let lawyers do
I
the
had
talking.
my gate open, but he and he went through there, but he could have hopped over it.
Right, this is why you let lawyers do the talking.
Ah.
Because he really wants to push the idea that this guy had to break in, and it's like, no,
Look,
he
Nick
had the
really
freedom
wants
of movement to
to
just
bullet, right?
walk on in.
He walked into a public parking lot.
Wait. Okay, so I'm looking at his trademark listing.
Yeah.
There's some weird things. First of all, the address on here is a PO box, which whatever. But let's see. Hold on. The status of it says abandoned because the applicant failed to respond or file a late response to an office action. And then I scroll down a little bit farther, and it says legal entity state, U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
You prepared, Larry. Look at that.
I'm really confused.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of weird.
Says, so Eric July has many LLCs, July and Rippaverse Publishing, etc. All list Eric July as their registered agent. He uses a PO box as the address, which is illegal to do.
Is that though?
Yeah, I don't know. Is that true?
I don't think that's true, because I've heard of like streamers will make LLCs at PO boxes.
Oh shit!
It depends on your state law. In some states you can't do that.
Okay.
And in other states you can. It depends on what the requirements are for LLCs versus different types of corporations.
Or
Well,
if they've
'cause,
had
like-
some issues with people running stuff out of their garage, and they're
Well, because like
PO boxes.
Rekieta has an LLC for Rekieta Law, the YouTube channel in Texas. I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
Yes.
No, I think no. His LLC's in Minnesota, isn't it?
No. He
it's
has a
in
Texas LLC. He's got
Yeah.
a Texas LLC. But what you do then is you set it for your attorney of record or accountant of records office address.
Yeah, I just it's weird that he has that, and then like it says the state entity is the U.S. Virgin Islands. Like I'm not against that if it's some like kind of like tax code thing he's trying to avoid. I'm okay with it. It's still weird.
I'm really happy that there was a redemption arc for Matt Jarbo. I'm just gonna say that.
Mhm.
Me too.
I'm so happy.
Me too. He deserved it. 5 years
he
was a
deserved
long
it.
enough exile.
Yeah.
But seriously, yeah. It's
Man, it's really it is actually really hard to find the actual location of their offices. I'm impressed.
all right. Back to
Endless trash.
That's what I'm saying.
I know, but this is so confusing. You're saying there's gates on either side,
Yes.
but then you're saying that he drove through another side and got
Yeah,
in.
so look at it like 3 sides, because there's nothing but fencing on the other on one side, right? So you have a fence. Look at it like this, like you got a fence, right? And then on opposite sides of that fence, right, is our building, right? You can get out, so get on the street, do whatever you need to do. There are 2 sides. If you went left or if you went right, there are gates on both sides. There is only one way, if you're not entering through that gate, to get into where our building is. Not everybody else's building. To get into where our building is, there's only one way to get in, not using those 2 gates.
So there's a way to
It's like
get
a
in
T.
without
Look at it
using
like a
the
T.
gate.
Correct.
Okay, but yeah, like you see the issue there, right? That there is a publicly accessible way in without a gate.
Issue as far as what?
I mean,
here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
He's like, what do you mean what? Like what do you mean?
But I had breakfast this morning.
Okay, so you
like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
See, I have to tell you, shitlord, something that might not happen, but I feel you need to know it for this. On the other podcast that I'm on, my friend Raven wants to get Eric on our show. And I'm telling him, man, I don't know. I'm really nervous about this. I'm uncertain because of this. Because of what I'm looking at. Because I don't bullshit. Things that I say here are things I stand by elsewhere. So I said, if I have to talk to Eric, I'm going to tell him how I reviewed Isom. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I feel this way about it. And if this subject comes up, I'm going to have to say, yeah, man, my friends and I, for, a greater part of an hour and a half or more, we watched your video and we laughed at you.
Oh, please bring me on for that. I will get on any show and argue with somebody.
For someone who wants to theoretically work in the comics industry one day and say, yeah, I fucking laughed at a potential employer because I thought he was losing his fucking mind.
I don't think he'll be around much longer.
Do it.
Honestly, I think this is imploding his whole entire business. Like he's
getting
a spike.
Well.
Yeah, I think he's getting a spike from all the drama, but I think after the drama settles, I
don't
want
he's lost just as many subs as Rekieta has, according to the last time I checked Social Blade.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they both dropped 1,000 people.
Man.
Well, that's nothing.
Just almost instantly when this shit went off.
I know Eric is like what 500,000 or something.
Yeah, a little over 500,000. Anyway.
If you have 3 entrances and 2 gates, and one of them is just an ungated entrance to a public road, that's not fenced in. That's not gated.
Not from that side. It's not. No.
Yeah, no.
But I'm saying, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean as far as the issue? I'm not understanding what it is you're meaning there.
But if you can drive in from a public road, I'm having trouble seeing it as private. Is all. That's
all right. So now it's more of a I guess semantics, or you want to argue illegal. I'm not saying
trying
that
to understand.
I'm not
making an argument that you can't get there. Like anybody can't just drive up into the there, let's say, to get to our building. That's not the argument I'm making. The only position it is that I have is that our building, as far as accessing it and being in there, like anywhere near there, the only reason why someone would need to be there is if they were invited there.
Or they just drove into the driveway.
Just drove into. When I'm talking about
but you don't need an invitation to drive into the driveway, right?
No, you don't need an invitation to drive into the driveway. What I'm saying is there's no reason for someone to be there. I think there's been some confusion because some people maybe saw like a logo on the side or something. They thought it was a storefront that was facing the store. It's not.
Oh no, I don't think it's a storefront.
Well, I'm just making a case, but that's what I mean, and that's the point of contention, Nick. When I'm saying like, hey, it's not this guy showed up to a place that is a private location. It's not our public address. There's no reason for there to be commerce or anything as far as us doing business with other people. There's no you can't even get into our actual building without either keypad access or what have you.
You can't enter the building.
Did he go in the building?
No, he didn't go in it.
Okay,
he wouldn't have been able to get in there. Yeah.
On the open side that he would have had to drive through to get in, because obviously he doesn't have the gate key. And you said, I think you said he drove in from that open side, right? Right. Is there like a sign that says no access or private property or anything?
No trespassing, no soliciting.
Posting that would.
That's something that I think I've talked about before. What I would have done in this situation, like we were talking about earlier, is I would have made a shitlord type video, like insulting the super chat or not intentionally not reading the super chat. And then I would hold up the sign that I spent the money to buy that says no trespassing and now on the side of my business.
I would respect that.
Or you film like a vlog type video of going to buy a no trespassing sign and pay with the $20.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I would respect.
Yeah. But you have to film yourself handing that $20 with the super chat written on it to the cashier.
Yeah. So that's that was something that came up over the weekend when I was discussing this with someone else, is that there was an easy way to deal with this.
indicate to someone they can't come in there?
The easiest way is to
No,
just shut the fuck up.
Okay, you're on real shaky ground saying
Yeah.
it's private then, man. Like
Right.
legally.
Again, you're using private in a context that I'm not using it in. So I'm okay with you
Right,
using it legally.
mine's
Right.
the legal context
Correct,
because
correct.
I'm
We're
answering
talking
legal
about the
questions.
legal
That's
Correct,
all.
correct.
right.
And I totally empathize with that and what it is you're saying. That has
You're on a
absolutely
show
nothing to do
called
with arguing
Rekieta
against
Law.
Okay, cool.
You
That's
just
fine.
named that.
Mongoloid.
I've never,
just trying to
obviously,
clarify
yeah, he was
The
Also,
chat,
I
Brian James in the
empathize with
chat.
your feeling.
The first mistake was using the court of public opinion, Rekieta Law on YouTube and Twitter to dive into this whole topic. He should have had this conversation behind closed doors.
I mean, Brian, he's doing this to try to milk the pay pigs on YouTube.
He's
because that's his business model.
Trying to monetize the haters.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Milk the pay pigs.
If he would listen to us and do our ideas, he would have monetized the haters.
Oh no! I in fact have 100% proof. Give me a second. Let me swap windows here for a second. Over in my email, May this year. So consider this is well before modern. As a burgeoning powerhouse on the independent comic scene, will the Rippaverse be opening its doors to submitted works to expand its line of comics and opportunities for other independents to publish in the competitive market? Forsaken.RuneKnight3 at blah blah blah. That's me. To which they responded, "Hello, Joseph. Thank you for reaching out with your interest in working with the Rippaverse. At this time, we are not accepting any creative pitches or talent. Any unsolicited material sent to us is destroyed per intellectual copyright law. When we are open to new talent or employees to join the team, we will post an announcement along with guidelines for your review. Keep being great. Caro." I don't know who Caro is. The Rippaverse team. So I, in fact, have been personally told, they are not taking our ideas.
Mm-hmm. He's only recruiting people. He's not taking solicitations.
Right.
You mean it's a multi-level marketing scheme?
Surprising nobody.
Was there. No shit, you can get there by just driving up in there. That's never been the point of contention by anybody here.
Okay.
I feel like you were making that the point of
public
contention.
versus private is that's not a storefront. There's no reason for anybody to be over there. We don't have that as our public address. There's no reason for anybody to be there. That's the only position it is that we have on that.
So when you say there's no reason to be there, I'm just curious, like, and don't take this the wrong way because I'm trying to understand. What's the
How did the business not have a public address?
Well,
I mean, that's not something.
It's not open to retail, though.
I mean, that doesn't mean it doesn't have a. But that's not what public address means. It's not a storefront. He made that clear, but it has a public address.
Well,
there is a
Just
physical
because I can't-
location.
It's really
Just because
hard to
I
find,
can't
though. I've
buy,
been looking.
just because I can't buy clothes from some of the manufacturing warehouses that are located around the country doesn't mean I can't Google the address of them.
I'm having a hard time doing it.
What's more, somehow Ayrton kidnaps me, takes me to Texas for a laugh. We walk into the Rippaverse offices.
Somehow,
right?
We
walk
You're
into
a cripple.
we walk into the Rippaverse offices during their posted open hours when they're working, and I assume there's going to be a opening room, like a little office section with a secretary, and you say, "Hi, I'd like to make an appointment," and you make an appointment, and then at some point,
do you mean a lobby?
Yeah. And then
I
at
believe
some
it's the term
point,
you're looking for.
and then at some point, they're going to be like, "Okay, your appointment is due," and they're going to take you back, and there'll be a thing called a meeting room where you have a meeting. There are reasons to have business there. It's not a self-contained box that human beings do not access. It's not factory sealed, like with a vacuum. It's not empty.
You don't know that.
Are you implying that Eric July is in fact an alien, and that this is an empty box that the UFO sits in?
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, he's got to go back to Kashyyyk sometime, right?
Yeah, because his only published address is the P.O. box in Denton, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas, like 20 minutes north, I think. Anyways, continue.
You good? Everybody good?
Yeah.
the relevance of that?
The relevance of that, because there was no reason for him to be there.
Right, but like,
Other
do
than
you
just
need a
fucking-
reason to be somewhere in the U.S.?
Say what?
Do you need a reason to be somewhere in the United States?
As far as what?
I don't know.
Well, the guy went there. All right, so
I sat in a parking lot the other day. I didn't have a reason. I just needed a place to park.
Okay.
I know he's there. I know he's there to visit your business.
Well, that's the only point it is that I'm making. A psychopath showed up and he was not invited there. That's the point it is that I'm making.
I'm sorry. Are you a shrink?
Yeah. Is he a psychopath?
Yeah, something like it. I like to think he's a crazy son of a bitch for sure.
Are you scared of Riley?
No, but I cannot.
That was a mistake, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it was.
It was at that moment that Rekieta realized Eric fucked up.
No, that was 4 minutes ago.
Not take that serious, considering that he showed up to a place of business that I'm not there, and I have employees. Now, surely you can empathize with that, right?
Again, I said I wouldn't want him to do it to me.
Let me finish real quick. Somebody sees a fat, stinky person, doing whatever gay shit.
Ad hominem attacks.
Hold up. Is that an accurate description of Riley?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, he's usually wearing a Red Ranger cape or some shit. I don't know. Like the gold and black. It was a Gold Ranger cape, I guess. And he has a Red Ranger like outfit or something.
He likes to watch Eric July, often in a Superman suit, sitting in the closet.
I mean, that's a little weird.
He did like 20 or 30 consecutive days of walking up a hill until he was
outside of
in shape enough to shave Eric July's arms.
Right, and we know that the person drove across the fucking nation, right, to do this weird shit, and he's dicking around out front, and he's online hot side and saying that he's gonna keep doing it. Surely you can at least admit that is some weird shit, and that is a cause for concern for people, for security reasons that are there, especially other folks that work there, because we can't take the guy's word for it that it's just a joke. You can at least understand that, correct?
That's been my position the whole time. That what he did was dumb.
Okay, yeah, what he did was dumb, and that's what it is that I'm saying. As far as me being scared or me fearing for it, that has nothing to do with anything. I wasn't even there. And
I mean,
I'm not there, right?
it does so with the law.
I can't afford to just be like, and nor can our security team afford to just be like, yeah, it's just a guy just dicking around. Like, we can't afford to do that. It's, forgive me, I don't really trust him. That's all that he'd leave it at, is just hot-siding on the internet and taking pictures and stuff.
I'm not saying you need to take his word on. I'm just trying to get in the mindset here. So you say that you have to take it seriously. What do you mean by that? Like, what does that mean?
Just that. Like, we have to take it seriously. Like, I can't just.
It means we're gonna put some holes in people. That told him to pull up.
See, here's the thing. I was unaware that Young Rippa was a former rapper and other roles, which shouldn't matter, right? But
he's a YouTuber, Rune. He's done a lot of things.
Right.
He's probably
the thing is that when
Brian
James, I am lost. So are we.
But here's the thing.
So's Nick.
When I talk about
I don't know what's going on anymore.
When I talk about the idea of why your lawyers tell you don't talk about things, okay? I don't care if your subculture is like you gotta front tough. You shouldn't front tough when the question is, are you afraid of someone? Because if you threaten to shoot them and you're not in fear of your life, you might be in legal trouble.
There's another aspect. There's another aspect of rap culture called stop snitching and don't snitch on yourself.
Right. No,
there's a great song. I highly recommend you check it out. It's by a little artist called MF Doom. Perhaps you heard of him.
I've heard of MF Doom. I love MF Doom.
Rap snitches telling all their business, go into court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label set up for years.
So, I too have heard of the obscure MF Doom, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Eric July is just sitting here saying, "No, I'm not scared of him. Yeah, I'm going to shoot him."
So now, if something happens and Riley shows up again, because he's an idiot, it's entirely possible that he does. If he shows up,
he just put out a video on Twitter that says, "Until next time, Eric July."
Yeah. So he's going to come back, and Eric July shoots him. All they have to do now is
play this clip from Rekieta Law.
He said he wasn't scared of him.
Further, they would call Nicholas Rekieta to be a witness in the trial and say, "Nick, as a lawyer, we recognize you're not currently a practicing attorney. What was your legal opinion of what you heard Eric July say?
And his answer would be, my opinion was to shut the fuck up.
The first thing.
Hold on. The thing that I'm curious about is when they get him on stand, will the judge allow Nick Rekieta to stop the cross examination for the $20 super chats? We know after the cross examination he'll read the lower ones, but he likes to read the 20s as soon as they come in.
By the way, for anybody listening, I did post the suicide hotline phone number. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. If you want to put holes in yourself like July wanted to do to Riley, just go ahead and call that number and get the help that you need. All right.
The first thing that I said to Larry when he showed me clips of this was that even in the urban street culture, don't snitch on yourself to get pinched for a bitch dime when you got a good hustle. Okay, because nobody respects that.
Rune,
yeah.
Can you do an album of rap covers, but just with like your super white Pacific Northwest accent? It would be hilarious. I will put down all the music tracks and everything. You just need to rap
Fuck
over
your bitch and the clip you played.
No. What we need to do is we need to get Rune to do it like spoken word, like Shatner.
No, that's exactly how it's going to be. Because I'm going to be editing it. So that's exactly what it'll sound like.
Sit up here and approach it as if it's just some guy that's joking, right? I have no idea if he's going to come back, do some other gay shit, escalate that because he is bad shit. I have no idea, and it would be ill-advised, for lack of better terms, for us to pretend like nothing could come from that. Definitely considering that the guy is at least crazy enough to drive all the way over here to appear at an address that he had no business being there.
Where did he drive from?
I have no idea. He's not from here.
Well, you keep saying across the country, so I don't know. Like,
yeah, well, he's not from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he drove specifically from where he left to you to do this? Like that?
Correct. Yes.
Did you have any other purpose in driving across the country? Like,
I'd like to think not.
Well, you think not, or do you know?
I don't know.
Like, what if he was going somewhere else? Like, just out there on the way.
Just stop by. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah, that
could he have possibly taken a flight to Texas?
They got a rental car.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then taking a flight to wherever the next biggest problem in the universe live show was. Because he's a simp for Dick Masterson and follows him around the country when he does these events. Could that possibly be what he was doing?
Or, Dallas is a fun city as far as cities go, for like a couple day trip.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
maybe he was just
I like to walk
hanging
around.
out.
I like to walk around putting $20 in things.
I mean,
yeah.
But it's generally not on the outside of buildings you do that, Church. It's generally on the inside of buildings you do that.
I mean, you don't know my fucking life.
Just because I nicknamed my dick $20 doesn't mean anything, all right?
I got a chick in Louisiana. Just because I'd fly to Texas because my boss will cover it and then drive to Louisiana doesn't mean that I specifically went to Texas to start shit. I was going to Louisiana.
Not even though he said that he was going to end up doing that, Nick. He just up and did it, and he would just happen to be in town.
Okay, but again, like, there's a lot of ascriptions that happen, and I'm trying to just get the story from it. Like, look,
all right. So, here's the story. The story is the guy is some weird injected himself into this goofy shit, and he went to our place. That a business that he had no business being at, and he showed up.
Crazy or on drugs?
Yes,
Eric,
that's going to be a cause for concern for the people that are there. And no, I'm not going to.
That's street talk to mean he's
not.
He's not
saying
he's literally on. He's
right.
not saying he's literally on drugs. He's using street talk.
Right, but he's
he
business
could be, though.
owner. You using street lingo? Don't
It's
fly.
Riley. It's Riley. He's definitely on drugs, guys. Calm down.
Okay, that's true. That's a good point. Yes.
Also, apparently,
it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Also, apparently, Brian wants me to ask you guys how much money. Apparently, he is down to buy the spoken rap lyricisms of RuneKnight 3.
Oh,
So,
call it the White album.
We're splitting it. We're splitting it 70-30.
Forward to, because in the event that, let me say this, because in the event that it does escalate, I'm the one that has to deal with that.
Yeah, and so now I'm trying to get to the next step. So you said you got to take it serious. I agree. Did anybody ask him to leave?
Say what?
Did anybody ask him to leave the property?
Not to my knowledge, he never spoke to anybody yet.
No, fuck you. Die. Die.
How did you
somebody screenshot this. I want the look between these two in this still image painted as a Renaissance style painting, and I'm going to hang it in my house.
I have a friend getting deep into experimenting with AI art. If we clip this, I will see what he can do.
This is Rekieta's thoughts right now.
What? No.
I disagree. It's along the lines of this.
Stop it. Get some help.
Did anybody call the police?
Dying.
I'm sure they did after the fact. Our security team had as a CYA.
Are you sure they did? Or
No,
they
I'm
did?
positive. I'm positive they did. Yeah.
So we. Okay.
Yes, they had to as a CYA. You could surely understand that, Nick.
Okay.
I mean, I don't
can
know
we
if they
pause
had
real
to.
quick?
Well, no, I'm saying that you understand why.
Pause.
What
They don't have to. They don't have to.
What's a CYA?
Cover your ass.
Cover your ass.
Okay.
But they don't have to.
Yeah,
they absolutely don't have to.
There's CYA and DFI or DFY.
But they don't have to though. So like if the guy's not there when they arrive, and he just put a $20 bill on a building with a sticker, take off the sticker and the $20 bill. They don't have to call the cops about that.
And if you have to take a scraper to the window because there's some residue, you eat that, because if you try to take that to small claims, they'll say it's not enough damage to count.
No. That would count as vandalism. So they would only notify the police, hey, somebody vandalized a piece of property with a sticker.
Right, and the cops will go, that's too
Okay.
bad. And yeah.
They'll go, okay, what was the damage? Like a couple of nickels. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll note that happened.
Exactly.
How embarrassing you are. You are the most embarrassing person I've ever seen.
Well, did the police follow up? Is there an incident report?
Yes, correct. Yes.
Cool.
You guys should go.
Yeah, no, again, that's as a CYA. I have to do that. Surely you understand that.
Yeah, of course. So, are the police going to pursue a trespass against him?
Oh, we'll see about that.
We'll see. They didn't indicate anything to you?
No, they have, but we'll see. Let them do their thing. Obviously, you understand.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
Hold up. Pause.
And now he knows when to shut up.
Because this is something he could actually get in trouble for.
Well, no, there's a couple things he can get in trouble for that he's already fucking said. He's already opened his mouth. He's not very smart.
Yeah.
He just happened to be smart this one time.
Yeah. So wait, he was being retarded on purpose before?
Well, you see, Larry, we have taught him wrong on purpose.
On purpose? As a joke.
You are a retard.
Larry's dying over here.
But here's the thing. Guy trespassed on the building. He does live in state. Cops aren't going to issue a trespass warrant on that. Because, how often is some guy going to just come back into the state to, trespass?
Well, I mean, maybe that's what Eric thinks happens. Is like maybe they're going to call the Texas Rangers. Or the Texas, is it the U.S. Marshals or Texas Rangers? Texas Rangers. They're just gonna be like,
Chuck Norris is coming after Riley.
They're gonna put out a posse on Riley. We let me go and get him.
Here's the fucked up thing.
We always get our man.
The fucked up thing that's probably going to come from this, and I hate to be the doom pill in the middle of all this hilarity, but knowing how trolls work and knowing the fan base audience of the Dick Show being what it is, there's a very good chance that Riley would never have to step foot in the state of Texas again. But there could be stickers left on that fucking building every
years.
Year.
So we were just talking about MF Doom. Is Doom Pill your rapper name there, Church?
MC Doompill, I like
MC
it.
Doompill.
All right, please.
No, but that's fine.
Okay.
Like I'm not.
That's fine. That's fine.
I don't determine what people should and shouldn't do. So like I'm not.
Okay. Well, just in case some shit hits the fan, I'm good on that. But yeah, they obviously are aware of it. They have to be.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. Again,
I mean,
I'm not
they
trying to
don't.
say anything
They
either way.
don't.
Like,
But
again, I don't put words in people's mouths. I just don't do it. So okay, so they call the police. Riley's gone before police show up. Did the police show up or did they just talk on the phone?
No, they went there. They went
Okay,
to they went to the building. Yeah, those security guys were all there. Yeah.
Okay, again, I don't know this.
The narco capital is called the police.
So, or I haven't seen it.
because that's something you do.
Then the next question though is, you mentioned like some writings and stuff like that, and you said actionable threat, and you've used a couple things, and this is the frustrating part about talking law because you've said a couple things that are terms of art in law that have specific definitions and specific.
Okay, all right. So let me. All right, I'll go ahead and clarify what it exactly is that I mean.
Yeah, thank you.
The weirdo has made it abundantly clear that he absolutely plans to continue to appear right wherever I'm at. And yeah, he's talked about this old gay shit of trying to shave someone's body and all that other gay shit, which is again, that's fucking weird. But nonetheless,
you
hilarious.
Fuckhead. That is the stupidest thing you interpreted there.
He threatened me. I'm scared he might show up and shave me.
All right. So what was this actionable threat? He was going to shave me.
I'm
Can you imagine?
This is just retarded.
I'm reminded of that clip from Billy Madison where it's like, I award you no points.
Actually, Jim,
And
you
God
have that.
mercy on
You have
your
that.
soul.
You have that drop, don't you, Jim? I think Jim has that.
Me typing. Oh, I don't.
Oh no. Jim, you used to have that on an older soundboard.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Now, this might strike some viewers as harsh, but I believe everyone involved in this story should die.
the last.
Do you think he's going to shave you?
And I've never said this.
I don't know what I would
Unironically,
attempt to do.
but
I
I
would
think
hope
this
like
will be
hell
the first
nobody
time
would come up to me with
That was a wrong clip.
fucking razor because I'm gonna have to act according. That'd be
Well,
fucking
that's
stupid.
stupid, right?
Yeah, that'd be stupid. But you just admitted that he's a fucking idiot earlier. So
No.
Yeah. All right. So yeah,
100%.
we can't pull it past him that he would try to actually do some old stupid shit like that.
But okay,
as
so
gay as it might be.
Again, clarifying because I'm just trying to have all the facts here. So the threats have entailed showing up where you are and presumably in public places. Like, for example, if you're going to go to a convention, he'd show up at a convention.
Well, that I don't know. That I don't. Well, I don't know exactly all of where because obviously the line that he's willing to cross is going to a place where we have my employees. So. Maybe he would show up to me somewhere else or something of that nature. But really, that's not the issue. I can handle myself and I can protect myself if some weirdo wanted to run up
This
on
is
me.
just
In fact, I
retarded.
like that. If there was something that a conversation that someone wanted to have, definitely in a public sphere, I'm all for that. Like if I'm at a con, you want to have a discussion with me, that's fine. Don't show up to my house and do not show up to a place of like that I got employees. That's I feel like
let's
that's
ask
a
the
reasonable
natural
thing.
question
Reasonable
here, Rippa. What if he shows up to a con and wants to shave you? That's the thing.
What if he shows up to a con with his employees?
Yeah.
Is he going to shoot somebody then?
What if he shows up to Wakanda and wants to shave him?
Well, no, then it would be a hate crime because you'd be part of the gorilla cult.
Oh, that's right.
So you're okay with people coming up to you randomly in public, but not coming up to a place of business?
Correct. Yeah, because that's dealing with other people that aren't me.
I mean, but did he deal with anybody that wasn't you?
Well, I have people that work there, right?
Did he deal with? You said no one spoke to him.
Right. Well, what it is that I'm saying is that he's appearing at a place that I have other people work at. So whether he did it, yeah, that's the only.
You know, I've been in
What's the
places
deal with that
before.
fucking douchebag?
I've been in places before where other people might have once been. And
Wait a minute. You've shared space with human beings, Church?
Over the course of time in history, yes.
Are you okay? Do you need adults?
I'm not. I feel like I've been assaulted. Someone probably left a sticker and some money in this exact location once upon a time.
Yeah, but it wasn't in your pocket, was
Actually, no, my child has done it. My child has stuck a sticker and money on this desk where I'm sitting right now. I think I need to call the police.
Only
Snitches get stitches,
don't come to my house. Don't come to a place of business. That's the only position it is that I have. If you want to have a discussion, whatever it is, just don't do any weird shit. I have to act accordingly if it's any weird shit. But yeah, coming to like a place where I got employees and all that, I feel like that's
the determinant on what is weird shit?
We're just gonna chill.
Okay, so getting back to it, the question is the threats are showing up in public, which you now say you invite. So that can't be a threat then, right?
Yeah. Say what?
Showing up in public where you are. You said you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I don't know what it is.
What did you say? I wasn't listening.
We should have set up a say what counter for this.
I'm serious.
A few times.
I'm really serious.
Oh man.
Who exactly determines what weird shit is? Because I like to fancy myself a weirdo who enjoys weird shit, and I want to know what counts as weird.
I think what you would do is legally weird shit.
The state would like to persecute Riley for all kinds of weird ass shit.
Right.
Your Honor, he was outside of my business in a cape. That's fucking weird.
In the case of Eric Riley versus Young Rippa,
here's the thing.
Eric Riley's defense would like to put into evidence the claim that Eric July is, I quote, Your Honor, fake and gay.
Well, no. I mean, here's a better claim. Does anybody remember Young Rippa before Harambe died? What if he's secretly Harambe?
Wait, no.
Hold on, let me get
the
line
there, Larry.
You motherfucker.
Wait.
Hold on. All right.
Larry. They recently found a suspect in Tupac's shooting.
It's true.
Young Rippa Suge Knighted Harambe?
I mean, I'm not saying it.
Fucking Christ. Brian, you're not going to go through the super chats at least.
That he wouldn't do, but I would still act accordingly. Make no mistake. Like, I have no idea to what all of that means, right? So for anybody that I don't trust, I'm cautious and I'm weary. I'm aware of my surroundings.
I gotta be clear here.
But if I got any sniff that it was anything
is
but
that, is that an implied threat legally? That I'm gonna do what I gotta do implication? Like if the guy showed up,
I'm gonna act accordingly is technically not a threat because in most cases acting accordingly is not.
Okay.
But it is like low key. It's kind of like I'm gonna throw this guy off into some lava in Minecraft. Basically, what he's really saying is if he comes back,
we're just gonna chill him.
Right.
Look. I'm just gonna take Riley to the top of my warehouse and I'm gonna vanilla ice him. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. And it's just like what I tell people.
I have to, of course, act because, but that's not what it is that we're dealing with.
You
we don't
can
even
find out where I'm currently living, but as I tell people, if you knock on my door in the middle of the night, I will show up naked and or armed. So be warned.
Probably both.
We're gonna have pride celebrations on top of my roof like they do in Pakistan. Also known as
situation.
We're just gonna
in that regard, at minimum, the guy's willing to, and he has, because he actually has. It's not that he's willing to show at a place that I have employees and stuff working in. That goes for anybody uninvited that they don't want there. That you can't do that.
So you have lawyers that you talk to about this situation. Like that's when you're saying our guys, you're talking about a legal team, right?
Yes.
Have they advised you to put?
I love how Rekieta
don't say what they've
starts
advised you to do.
So
If
you
they
have lawyers, right?
Or do they know you're speaking right now?
Right.
If they knew you were speaking, they'd probably tell you to stop.
Where did you find this lawyer?
How much did
on
you pay?
Backpage.
I actually might be able to find
They have
a
not-
picture of the lawyer. So just give me a minute.
At a shopping mall next to the Orange Julius.
I followed him on OnlyFans.
He also offered to repair my shoes.
They're an Iron Age lawyer. It's the new kind of law.
Your Honor, I'm going to have these clogs done by Wednesday.
not advise you to put up privacy signs on the open road that you can go into the parking lot with. Like again, you may need some counsel on some of this stuff. That is
that's not the point of contention, man. Like him, look, I'm not oblivious.
I don't want to fix a problem. I want to shoot the guy, Nick. Why can't you understand this?
Look, it's not going to be much of a problem anymore.
Because we're just gonna kill him.
Fucking star of the show is that one.
Okay,
Oblivious to the fact that no matter where it is that I'm out, that also appears to my, applies to my house. Someone somewhere at some point is going to figure out where our various locations are at. So, and how to get to them if they actually want to. That doesn't matter who it is that you are. That's not the issue. The issue isn't simply that a guy knew it where it was that we were at. It's the problem is that someone's willing to go out of their way to, whether it be for a long-standing gag or whatever it is, showing up at a place that I have other people working and employees. And again, I can't treat that like you wouldn't do anything else. That's just weird.
Which is why I'm suggesting that you should talk to your counsel about the reasonable aspect of putting up signs indicating it's not publicly accessible.
Well, which we can do that, but that's not really the point. That's not the point of contention here. That's not that was never anything.
What the fuck is the point of contention then?
So
I don't know.
They got in because you didn't have any privacy signs up. That's not the problem. The problem is they got in because I don't have privacy.
In the private chat, I think I found a photo of Eric July's lawyer.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's Lionel Hutz.
My screens are out. Yeah, that's
Lionel
exactly who it is. Jim.
No, he was the shoemaker I was talking about.
But no, that's the thing though. Here's the thing. I'm gonna put myself in Rekieta's shoes for a minute. If he wasn't just destroyed mentally by this process. If somebody comes on your property through the publicly available access and defames your property, and you want to make the person stop, yeah, you talk to your lawyers about what's our ability to isolate the location, right? You know, to put up signage and the like saying, leave us the fuck alone, right? You don't engage the person unless you're going to bring a lawsuit. And if you bring a lawsuit, you certainly don't then try it in the court of public opinion. At no level is this a legally grounded progress. And,
it is not, no.
And Rip is like, but that's not the bone of contention. What the fuck is? What's your problem then?
So Brian James says, saying that the guy was acting, quote, weird can be demonstrated on the video. Saying the guy, quote, stinks cannot be discerned by the visual evidence. I disagree. You can see the stink
it
lines
is true.
Riley
we read enough comics. Stink lines come off of people. I believe that's totally true.
Anything that was argued at any point
probably will be on that trespass.
Also, to be fair, all YouTubers stink.
Like for the cops, like it probably will be a point on the trespass.
Well, again,
like if I was his lawyer, I would say,
right, okay,
there's a publicly accessible road and an open driveway that you can drive into.
That's not at all the issue. It is.
Then why did you bring it up?
The issue is not that he was able to even get over there. That's not the point of contention by any means. So while I understand what it is that you're saying, as far as I would advise you to do all this and that, all that has been taken care of, but that's not the thing that I take exception.
It's obviously not.
Yeah, of course, man. People can get to a warehouse or wherever it is that you're at. Again, that can also apply. That can apply to my house. You know what I mean? People eventually will
quote
find
the great philosopher,
or to be and all other stuff. But so that's not
the great
that's not what it is that I'm
Penn Jillette.
You need to shut the fuck up.
I just found video evidence of what Riley's lawyers are going to do for his defense against Eric July.
Oh no!
Gay.
Look. We've all heard the phrasing. Brevity is the soul of wit. We've all heard that pretentious fucking phrase. I'm gonna give a modern spin to it and say the more words you have to say fucking nothing, the more bullshit you're full of. Okay.
So brevity
This
is the soul of
explains a
wit.
lot about the writing in ISO.
William Shakespeare.
I'm contending, no matter if you know where it is or not. I feel like I'm at least owed the courtesy of someone not showing up uninvited to do kind of weird stuff. And definitely once you made it abundantly clear that you don't really got it all upstairs.
And I agree with you, but you just said it's the same as your house. It's actually not the same as your house.
All right. In a sense of what it is that I'm saying, Nick, I get that.
I'm trying to help you make it the same as your house.
Nick, I get that a house and a business is
and
different. You don't have to
listen.
legally explain it to me. I understand that.
You're taking this the wrong way, man. You're thinking I'm trying to tell you that you're in the wrong. I'm trying to
No,
tell
I'm
you
not.
like,
No, I'm not saying that you're trying to tell me I'm in the wrong, Nick. All I'm saying is
Then
what I'm
shut
referring to when
up!
I say that it doesn't matter. And the point of
fuck's
contention is
sake.
that I have with why I take exception to it has absolutely nothing to do with whether or not it is my house, whether or not it is building A, B, or C it is that we have. You surely understand it. I'm not foolish enough to think that there's not a difference between my business and a house. I know there very well is. I know that even from a legal perspective, there can be some differentiation there. I am totally aware of that, but that's not the point of contention. That's not what it is that I'm saying.
all right, I'm trying to help.
did have breakfast this
That's
morning.
fine.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate you trying to help.
I'm actually a little disappointed that Ayrton.
No,
hasn't
I'm not
been
trying to
playing
explain.
the-
Like, I know what you're trying to say, but I'm just saying that I didn't have breakfast this morning.
Yeah.
All right, but that's
I'm
not what
really
asking.
surprised that Ayrton hasn't been-
Look, you need to look. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to help me and everything. That's fine, but I'm trying to tell you that I didn't actually have breakfast this morning, so I don't know.
Okay, but did you have breakfast this morning?
No, I didn't have any. It didn't have any breakfast.
No,
that's not the point of contention.
This is just
though.
retarded.
I had
I'm really
some
upset.
wafers and wine for breakfast.
I'm really disappointed in Ayrton that he hasn't been piping in the sound effect of a dying battery and a smoke detector the whole time that this conversation is going on.
Fuck, that would have been.
Oh, I need to throw that in my soundboard.
Okay, so I need to re-edit this stream with Eric July sounding like Chewbacca with a smoke detector beeping in the background. Okay, I need to make notes. Well, let me find
Look,
a pen.
I'm just gonna throw out there that, to be fair, for the better part of a month at a previous domicile, I had a non-working smoke detector and
Well, that's
could not
because you're
identify.
crippled.
That's the thing. I couldn't identify the sound. I didn't know what it was, so I couldn't tell my parents, "Hey, my smoke detector's dying." I was going insane.
So are there any other threats? So the one threat I've heard is that he was going to hold you down, shave your arms, which I think is ridiculous. But you have no reason to believe, and I have no reason to believe he's not serious. I don't know. So that I've heard that, and then it was a public thing. But you just said that if it is in a public place, like you welcome that, so long as people are cool. So then, what was there another threat? Is there something else?
That's good enough. That's good enough. Yeah, that's good enough. And even doing
that isn't good enough.
Guys are free to say that. The only place I draw the line is just don't show up to a person's house, be it myself, employees, and don't
Jim?
show up to the job. That's it.
I'm gonna drive down to San Antonio and I'm gonna shave your arms.
Okay, so aside
no, I'm
from
gonna
that,
put a
I
wig
think
on
we've
you. I'm
hammered out-
gonna unshave your head.
Good luck. I'm not in San Antonio.
Oh fuck, that's right. You moved. God damn it.
Yeah. Good luck finding me in San Antonio.
Well, when I find you, I'm gonna put a wig on you and unshave your head.
Look. Ayrton doesn't know who you are, but he doesn't have many skills. But what he does have is a lot of alcohol and a tiny micro penis, and he will try to find you until he gets bored.
No, you fuckhead! It is not a tiny micro penis. It is the world's largest micro penis. Get it right, god damn it!
And he
Show the
will
man
try
the
to-
respect he deserves.
He will try to find you, but then he'll get
Fuck-ass.
bored and he'll
Fucking
forget about
Guinness
it.
record holder over
Well,
here.
I have even more alcohol, so don't underestimate me.
Okay.
And an even bigger micro penis.
Oh man!
Oh, them's fighting words.
Now you're definitely gonna get
Now
wigged.
it's on like Donkey Kong.
Wait, Donkey Kong?
You're racist.
Hammered out the Riley situation. I agree with you. He should not go. I said that. I haven't changed that position. I'm answering questions from people online talking about ventilating someone for showing up. And I'm like, there's a lot of questions here that are not so straightforward legally, even in Texas with property defense. And I would not put my money on a 12-person jury, doing that. But you weren't there. You don't have to worry about that at all. Not a big deal. So aside from the Riley thing, is there? I want to address something that you said I don't know if it was from a stream or a clip for something today. I don't know. But
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you thought the first part of this was bad,
it gets worse.
It's gonna get worse.
Oh, and it can get worse.
You said something about how you would have been cool 100% if I just said that Dick was my dude and I was going to ride with him no matter what happened, right?
Partner.
So if when all this went down, I said, you know what? I think Dick's trying to fuck over Eric July.
Can you get partner on the soundboard?
This could not possibly be any
that
worse.
would take
it
too
has
much
to
work.
get better from here, right?
On this planet,
I like Eric July, wanted to make millions of dollars, but Dick's my dude. And I'm going to ride with him forever, whether he's wrong or not. You'd be perfectly okay with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You've been 100%.
So the implication, though, is that I meant that, but I said something else, and therefore I'm being dishonest.
Well, yeah, I just feel like you're not as impartial as you like to think that you are, or that you make it appear.
No,
the reason being is
he
because
said
when this whole gay
it.
shit popped off.
Pause
The first thing it is that you did, Nick, you didn't. You could.
You didn't. He fucking tried to cover it, but he said it. He said you're more. You think you're more important than you are. You fucking said the inside part outside.
He did. He did.
So the quiet part.
No, he
out
said
loud,
he.
you mean?
Oh yeah, he said
yeah. I only started it because it's like no, that's fucking nasty.
You could have acknowledged, right?
I have to
not
prime
you
the
know,
pump
you
a little
chose not
bit.
to acknowledge that. Well,
this is going to be a running theme throughout the entire portion of this going forward. Is this sound?
Then put your little hands in
We're going to be going over the same points over and over again. He's not going to remember.
Started hostile on me. It was not the other way around. This was not a universal same thing. It's like, oh, you're like, oh, this whole thing is gay. Like, well, you need to be. I told you this. You remember I told you this. I told you this when you first kind of injected, because you know your chat's asking you about all this. They know that
it happened on my show. Like this started here, not from me, but it started because Nina, Dick was criticizing the book. Nina says, "Have you read it?" He says, "No." Then everybody's like, "You got to read it and do the review. How can you know?" And all that shit popped up. That wasn't me. So I don't know how I didn't acknowledge it. I mean, it started.
No. I'm not talking about doing that. What I'm saying is that you didn't, as far as what you didn't acknowledge, is that you're presenting it as if this was like this guy versus that guy thing. When that's not at all what this was. Your partner started the issue, right? That's and it's all on him. This isn't an Eric versus him thing. This is a thing that he is perpetually online. Maybe he doesn't have.
But now I'm guilty by
association. This may be his shtick. But if you want the shit to end, and you want that, you find this whole thing gay, and you're genuine about that, right?
100%. I hate
that's a conversation that you got to have with him. It's not the other way
I'm
around.
not his dad, man. What do you want me to do?
All right. So you're not. Right. Wait, that's exactly what it is that you did.
No, it isn't.
You said you. All right. So let's be more accurate.
I said I'll be 100% accurate. I said Dick is a troll, and if you keep feeding him, he will keep going because that's who he is.
All right. So and I totally understand that is I'm not unaware about that. What I'm more so referencing is that hey, you were presenting it as if it was this guy versus that guy.
It is this guy versus that guy.
Yeah. When we discussed this, what did I say? What did I say about feeding the fucking trolls? If he would have ignored them, this would have all gone away.
It's not even feeding the trolls at this point. I actually want an answer to Rekieta's question. He's not the guy's dad. What is Rekieta supposed to do? Exactly. How is he supposed to stop?
This is like Ethan Ralph demanding that Jim Mr. Medicare be his dad. Yeah, and Mr. Medicare said, "I'm not your dad."
Rune, it's just like every Monday when I call you and I give you your list of chores for the week and tell you what to do as a grown man who I have no relation to. You know, it's just like that. That's what Nick should have done.
But Church, what do I do?
Should have called Dick and been like, Dick, you can't make fun of people. You know, the thing you've been doing for the last 20 years on the internet.
What do I tell you every time you call me? I say, fuck you, Church, because, you know, you call me at 6 o'clock in the morning and it's cold and I'm not getting out of bed.
See, that's exactly what Dick Masterson would say, only it would be funny.
Right.
All right.
That guy thing, you found a whole thing to be gay, but the party that's instigating the shit, you're not saying anything about. You're not addressing him. You're trying to play the middle. You're pretending like you're trying to play the middle of the road. When the argument is that I make, you're completely ignoring the context. I guess that is what it is that I'm saying. And the context.
I think you missed the parts at the beginning where I said that Eric isn't engaging this, and that's good. But his fans are
So it's
this up
lefty
because
logic.
They and again, I'm not blaming you for that. I was I was respecting the fact that you were not engaging, and then eventually it pops up. I know how exactly this shit happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
People bring you in. You got brought in. That sucks, man. Like 100%.
Well, not necessarily. No, let's just be honest. The guy that you call your partner.
I've never called him that. You called him that.
There it is.
All right, so what is it?
It's just friend.
All right, so a friend. That's what I mean by partner. Those are interchangeable terms. That's your partner.
Okay, I want to be clear because some people have implied that I have a business relationship with Dick, which I do not.
I
Dick and I have
don't
never.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm just being clear on that. Okay, gotcha.
But no, that's your partner. That's all that. All that.
You see, that's what a lawyer would say in a situation like that.
Opinion, if you actually wanted the shit to end and you didn't, this is not something that you would have preferred to happen. You would have took that up with the actual initiating party, and that's not what you do. No.
I didn't do that.
No. Not to my knowledge, you didn't do it. You did, however, bring it up like, hey, I don't want you to be. I wish that this wouldn't happen, and this is all gay and all that. To my knowledge, you haven't done any of that. But on a serious note, on a more serious note,
would you have knowledge if I did?
Absolutely. If I know about it, I'd absolutely. I was like,
well, if you know about it, if you know about it, yeah.
Yeah,
I want to say again.
But you don't know about it.
I want to say again. That's
because you know what I've said to Dick about this.
Pause.
No, not. I only know what you said in public. Have you? I ask you flat out. Have you?
Then don't accuse him of doing things.
Yes or no, Nick?
I don't know. Is it yes
I mean,
you're saying what I haven't had.
Now Nick is fucking with Eric here. He's fucking with him here.
No, because here's what's happened. Like Eric is accusing him of not doing something,
right?
And Nick is like, "How do you know I didn't do it?" He's like, "Because you didn't do it publicly." And it's like, "Well, how do you know I didn't do it behind the scenes?" And he's like, "Well, did you do it?" And it's like, if you don't know, then don't say it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When I say it's lefty logic, what I'm talking about is the lefty extremists that screech, if you don't speak in support of my belief system, you're supporting opposition.
You're literally a Nazi.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you didn't tell him he was wrong for talking shit, therefore you said he was right. No, that doesn't work that way. And what's more, as a lawyer, he fucking knows it doesn't work that way. You can only be held accountable for what you say, not what you don't say.
Also, Nick Rekieta is a free speech absolutist, and he believes that people have a right to say dumb, revolting, terrible things, so long as they're not actionable.
Yeah.
Right.
Or not say anything at all.
Or not say anything at all.
And that's a very important part of it.
I mean, the thumper rule is powerful, man.
Like he doesn't want to get involved. So when he wants to like try to get something to calm down, he wants to do it behind the scenes so that nothing is pointed back at him. So he might go up to Dick and be like, "Hey, this is some pretty gay shit you're doing. Like, come on, calm down, calm your tits." He may have done that.
We'll hear
I don't
about
know.
this.
So if something is something, so there is. I talked about this last stream. That there were my main YouTube channel got demonetized, and the reason why I got demonetized is because there was someone who was actively going through old videos of mine before YouTube changed its policies about like conspiracy theories and stuff like that, or we were debunking conspiracy theories, and we're reporting them as like promoting conspiracy theories, inciting racism and stuff like that. When the whole point of the satire was to show that it was stupid or bad. And so someone was actively false flagging my channel in order to get my account taken down or whatever. YouTube demonetized me. I'm pretty sure I know who it is. It's not SO, if you're wondering. It's not who I think it is. But there was someone, I'm pretty sure, like 99. If you ask me off air, I'm going to be like, I think it's this person. But I'm not going to say it publicly because I don't have any information or any proof that that is the case. Maybe entirely possible, like a couple years down the line, someone could be like, "Hey, I was being an asshole. It was really me this whole time." And I could have been completely wrong and accusing some random person of doing something. If you don't have any information, don't make accusations about things.
It was
even
me,
positive or
Barry.
negative.
So hold up, Jim. He wouldn't happen to be that one meth head.
No.
Okay.
No. It might be, but that's not who is on my radar. I have someone who I'm pretty sure who it is. It's not that.
Jim knows the method I'm referring to.
Yes, I do know who you are. The one that
I'd
threatened
appreciate
to
it if you
that
guys
one.
didn't
That one
talk
he was
about
public.
me while I'm sitting here.
He threatened. Well, you're not that meth head. The other meth head.
No. There was a meth head who threatened to get Jim's license revoked because Jim was mean to him on the internet.
Because they call him a tweaker. Because He was on Eric
Was
because
he-
he was
was he
on Eric
tweaking
July's
out?
stream. Yes.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
on Eric July's stream, high on meth. Obviously doing like all the facial tics and then saying that he was up for 3 days drinking caffeine.
No, that sounds like
Caffeine.
that.
Caffeine doesn't keep you up for 8 hours.
No.
I
That's not how
I
caffeine works.
mainline the shit every morning.
Yeah, and I was like, this guy is high on meth, and I even said in the comments on that stream, I was like, he's high on meth.
Dude, I distill, just grocery store brand instant coffee just to get stronger caffeine in the morning.
Oh, I've taken those little things of instant coffee and just like shot them. Just
That's a
dry.
good idea. I should.
Hold on.
You're the one who said
you
what I
know,
did.
You can't sit up here and keep asking me these
First of all,
questions.
you're asking me to be his
have you
damn
addressed
dad,
it personally about it? Have you? Yes or no? Yes or no?
I've
Somebody
talked
yes
to
or
Dick
no?
100 times about this. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. That's all. Okay, cool. And so, how did that conversation go?
Exactly as you would expect a conversation with Dick Masterson about what they should do.
I don't know how that is.
You haven't figured that out by now? Like if you tell Dick to do something that he's not going to do it, right?
What did you tell him to do?
Hey, Dick, this shit's gay. I wish you would stop.
You told him to stop?
What am I going to do? Like demand? I'm not.
No,
his dad.
I'm asking you had a conversation with. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Do you
Nick.
call people up and tell them to stop doing something?
If I have a
your friend, like
Pause for a moment. Eric July, as Nick later revealed, has a list of people that are disloyal, and he's told some of the people on that list that you're disloyal and your friends are disloyal, and you need to step your game up if you want to be able to ride with me. So Nick saying this was actually a deep cut.
That's why I got so stuff.
If it's
You'll tell them.
I will advise them in whatever way. I can't demand a grown ass man.
Oh,
say,
you
hey, man,
can't demand something of a grown ass man, but I can.
No, I'm not saying no. That's the complete opposite of what it is. That's why I'm asking you what it is. What it is you said. You of course can't.
Did you tell him to stop? I didn't tell you to tell him to stop.
Man, you can't control his grown ass man. I'm asking you, did you say as his friend, like, hey, cut the bullshit out? I don't know. I'm asking. I'm not saying you're required to. I'm just
you knew 5 minutes ago, but now you don't. That's
no. I said all I know is
all I know.
Wait a minute.
Hold up, Jim. But I ate breakfast this morning.
More importantly,
I didn't ask if you ate breakfast this morning.
More importantly, I just want to throw this out there. I'm just asking, did you tell him as a friend he shouldn't have said that? Even if you did, it's none of your fucking business what private conversations Rekieta has with his friends. Those are his friends, Eric.
This does seem like a very anarchist philosophy, doesn't it, Jim?
If you have a problem with having friends, maybe you should get some. That's an idea. Don't interrogate other people about their friend relationships.
I mean, to be fair, I call church gay on like a daily basis. So every time he texts me in the morning,
it's true.
You know.
But here's the thing. Here's what I'm getting at. I know you guys here, and sometimes we talk away from show about life and the universe and everything. Okay, and I know
42.
that you know human beings, right? But I don't interrogate you about those human beings and your relationships with them unless you guys choose to offer things up. I know more about Larry's friend Tom than I know about your daily living, Ayrton, and that's fine. So what the fuck did Eric July get off?
I mean, my daily living is wake up, start coffee, take a piss, go sit outside and stare at the mountains while I drink my coffee with my dog.
Where does Eric July get off being in public forum in front of an audience and being like, "Did you tell him not to do that thing I told him not to do?" It's like,
Rune, personally, me myself, I wouldn't have felt that great if I had not had breakfast this morning.
I mean, that is true.
But Eric July now has affirmed that he had breakfast this morning.
I mean, he really wants you to know it.
Probably came up when I called you out on it, though.
Let me correct it and be more accurate.
That is going to drive me fucking nuts, Jim.
Okay. Yeah. No, I've.
You haven't talked to me about this shit at all.
Would you want me calling up and saying, "Hey, Eric, I think you should"?
If you thought I was in error, Nick. If you thought we were cool, and you thought I was in error, right?
Do I think you're in error?
I would say. No, that's all it is.
Isn't that so fucking good? Aren't you so happy you did that?
Yes.
But do I think you're in error?
Best thing on my.
I don't think I'm in error. Do you?
No.
Okay, so but all I'm saying is regarding the conversation, which is the question that you just asked. If I thought a friend was in error, I would say, "Hey, man, I don't think that."
Well, to be clear, we may differ on what we think he's in error on, but I have said I wish this shit was over. It's annoying. It fucks up my show, and I hate you for it, you bastard.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Well, again, didn't hear that publicly, which so that's good.
Why
news.
would you?
That's
Dude,
good
I
news.
don't air that shit out in public. Like, why would I do that?
Oh man, you talk a lot about this situation publicly.
Have I ever said that Eric July is wrong?
Well, what you have said, you worded it in a way, and I don't know if it's lawyer speak, is I wouldn't have done this if I was him. That's essentially how you word it.
It's lawyer speak now.
All right, cool.
I would have done things differently. You said I did wrong shit.
So,
Right,
question:
I've actually,
if I'm gonna do the Church of Failure cut of this gay ass debate, what's the increment, like the time increment that a dead smoke detector chirps? Is it every like few minutes? Do we know?
I'll get you
off
that
the top of our head. Okay.
Never said you're wrong. In fact, even on the places where I disagree with you, because you have a set of evidence that you think leads to the conclusion that Dick and Vito are behind the contacting of the charity and behind the contacting of the ISOM company, right? Like,
well, I'm going by what on the latter. I'm going by what was specifically stated by them.
What was stated on their podcast.
That was specifically stated by them.
And even in that instance, in which I disagree, and I say, I do not find this to be sufficient evidence. One, because Vito is retarded and uses we in an inappropriate way. Two, because that Twitter...
Every 30 to 60 seconds.
So what about is your buddy as retarded when he says I contacted the charity?
Dick contacted the charity about something else? No, I think he clearly contacted the charity, yeah.
Oh,
but he's not the guy who sent the email. The email that's a question.
Okay. So either way, you're saying that you understand that he specifically mentioned he did the charity.
He made Brian James go check his smoke detector.
You know what I think? I think whenever we have to pull up the racism time banner from now on, we need to have the smoke detector chirp.
You know what the worst part is?
All right, I'll make sure I have
the
it
worst part
saved.
is, I know my smoke detectors are 100% right because I'm not kidding. The day my mother went into the hospital the last time, when they took her out of here, the firemen were here. And the guy looked and said, "Oh, your smoke detector's out of date." And he removed it and put in a brand new one.
You're racist.
Okay, you're just saying that the email, I guess, as far as what I talked about in that video, wasn't him. That's the point, is Jamaica. Or you don't see sufficient evidence.
Right. I haven't seen sufficient evidence. And here's the thing. And I said, however, I don't know if people didn't put this and send it or you didn't see it. I don't know. But I said, however, I understand and fully accept why Eric would come to that conclusion. He and I have different relationships with Dick. I've known him for longer. I talked to him about this. I asked him flat out, "Are you behind sending that email?" "No, of course not." "I think it's funny. I probably would have," or something like that. And I'm like, "Well, that shit's gay. I don't like it. But if you didn't send the email, then, that until I see otherwise, I have no reason to believe your conclusion over his word." And so I said, though, but Eric doesn't have a relationship with Dick. He doesn't know him at all. And his conclusions are perfectly reasonable. But I think if you're going to start a court case, there was talk, I don't know if you accused anybody, or you said you're going to sue anybody. I'm not putting that on you. I know there's a lot of talk about a court case, about tortious interference and all this shit. And I said, I wouldn't want to go to court on this evidence, and I'm waiting to see something more. If I see more that is more conclusive, I'll happily say that's bullshit. I hate that shit. I do not like people fucking with other people's business.
All right, so let's address that.
One second. And every single time I always finish with, I love Eric. I love what he's doing. And I want that man to make millions and millions of dollars. I want this shit to go away. I think the lawsuit's bogus. I think they got trolled into it. And I think it's retarded.
Yeah.
But now I wanted to clarify that, but go ahead and say
okay, so you don't think that anybody, you say you don't like that when people try to fuck with other people's business.
No, I don't.
Okay, so is your claim that your partner or your friend, as you put it, so you don't think he's tried to fuck with someone else's business?
It depends on what exactly you mean by that.
No, I want to know what you think, because you're saying that you don't think that you see it. I want to know how you define fucking with someone's business.
So what I define as fucking with someone's business in this context, because of what I've seen, is in relation to the charity shit, and then the ISOM shit, where someone was contacted like a kind of Karen to get them into action against you. I hate that shit.
Okay, so
calling for people to be canceled.
So your partner did that with the trademark issue.
What?
He did not.
Pause real quick. So we need to put a mental note on this. He just said that Vito or Dick, I guess Dick and Vito, I guess is who he's talking about, did this with the trademark, right? That they're the one that alerted them to the trademark thing so that they can be a Karen.
But it
about
was it was a guy with an email, Angry Badger or some stupid shit like that.
No, Angry Gnome.
Right.
Yeah, Obtuse Gnome.
Okay,
That's what it was.
But put a mental note in that because he's going to deny later that he never said that.
I feel like I just found Eric July's entire court defense right here of, you know, why he's in the right.
Don't fuck with me! I have the power of God and anime on my side!
That's a classic.
Let's keep going.
I haven't used that one in a while.
Yo, and he was like, I hope you consider, like a little Karen, like you just said, I hope you consider that, you know, he did X, Y, and Z. He specifically did that.
After they filed the lawsuit, right?
Yes.
Yeah, after they filed the lawsuit.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. You're in a legal action, man. He's commenting on it. Like
all right, so all right. So you don't look at that like trying to fuck with someone's business.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
after the fact.
Yeah, like how
is it fucking with someone's business if it's after the fact? It's already been fucked with. Someone already fucked
don't
it.
expect the lawyer that you personally know on the internet to look at your law case and comment on it after his chat tells him to for the 10,000th time.
I mean,
You know, you're also an internet figure. You don't expect other internet figures to go at you.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't go at him. He just discussed the case, and he said that what Riley did was stupid, that if Dick and Vito actually did anything, that would be bad, but he believes that it's all been pointed at this obtuse gnome person who sent this email and then publicly claimed to. Now, there's speculation that obtuse gnome is Dick and Vito, but going back to what Jim said earlier, if you don't have any evidence of that, you don't fucking say it out loud.
Yeah.
But I also want to point out something else. Let's say I'm an intellectual property lawyer representing an entity. I'm going to have a Google search that, you know, runs every so often to show me what the Google search for this company looks like. And if my company's not the number one person for my Google search, I'm going to look into who's number one, and if they're number one in some way that violates my trademark. And, you know, obtuse gnome might not even have been the person who alerted them to this situation. Obtuse gnome may just have emailed this in, and they may have already been working on it. We don't even know.
Right.
Trying to essentially instigate it is what it is. We haven't been served or anything like that. Essentially trying to instigate that. You don't see that as that. Trying to fuck with someone's business.
Dude, if I said that everyone who talked about something in a negative way
that's not what it is that I'm saying. No, I didn't like a Karen tweeting directly at this CEO of whoever is involved in this trademark dispute.
Yeah.
But what he didn't let Nick say is that if every time someone did that, then there would never not be a lawsuit going on for the next 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, till the end of time when it gets sucked into a black hole. We would never get through all the lawsuits.
So stupid.
Trying to instigate the continuation of the lawsuit.
Instigate the continuation of the lawsuit?
Correct, because we haven't been
served. The lawsuit ending?
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't. Nobody's been served.
So, but like the lawsuit
is still in limbo. It's still in limbo. It hasn't. It's still.
He wanted them to continue the lawsuit that hasn't been started yet.
Initiating the continuance of a lawsuit
that hasn't been started yet.
That has not been started yet.
Basically, he's been given a demand letter by an attorney.
Those are three different things.
Yeah.
Like kind of
what we know for
something that's already continuing.
What we know for a fact. Yeah. What we know for a fact is he got demand letter. We know that is factual.
Right. Why did he get the demand letter though? But hold on. Why did he get the demand letter? Because at first it wasn't a demand letter. At first it was them calling the Rippaverse and saying, "Hey, what's going on? Like, I'm hearing some stuff. It looks like we got like a similar name. Like, what's going on?" And then he, like an idiot, goes on the internet and says, "Fucking, I'm being sued." And then they go, "I guess we're."
This is going to make me a lot of money on the YouTube.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
It wasn't an immediate suit. There was just an inquiry.
No.
Just an
they
inquiry.
Called them. Yeah, they called them and said like, "Hey, what's going on? Let's work this out behind the scenes to make this." Try to make your thing a little bit distinct from what we're doing, because I think what you are doing is distinct, but let's kind of clarify things.
Right. That's
Which is what.
That's when you call lawyers and have them have a meeting. That's all this needs is a meeting.
Yeah.
But then he did a YouTube video.
And for him to shut the fuck up.
But a YouTube video was making a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he had breakfast this morning.
Here's the thing. I am on the record. It is known I am not a Trump fan. I don't have derangement syndrome. I just don't like the man. Okay? But, as people have pointed out, because Dave Chappelle is a genius, okay? He rocked the world when he said, well, I know that there are tax exemptions. I use them. So do my opponents. That's what lawyers are for. If you have a lawyer, shut the fuck up and let the lawyer do your exemptions. Then you don't have to pay for anything and you don't have any problems.
What
the fuck? Really?
To once again quote the great philosopher Penn Jillette,
you need to shut the fuck up.
Yep. But let's continue on here.
They watch this and build him for it.
Yeah, let's.
Nobody's been served. We haven't gone to court over it. None of that has happened.
Good. I hope it costs you.
Right.
As
all right.
little
So
as
back to the
possible.
point, though. What would you consider that? You wouldn't consider that trying to actively fuck with someone's business.
Have you guys already been fighting for like 2 months at this point?
I'm not. No, I wouldn't consider that. I'm asking you. Can
You wouldn't consider that?
No, not at all. I consider it that I would more so accurately putting it is that this guy has an issue with me, and that's all that it is.
And you guys had a fight on Flashcast already at this point, and then it kept going after that?
Say what?
You guys had already talked on Flashcast prior to that, and then the shit kept going after, right?
Yeah, because he kept talking down.
He kept talking
down.
Oh, down.
Yeah,
Sorry.
right, down. Yeah.
Dude, sometimes I'm serious. I was just trying to clarify. Dude, is it fucking with someone?
Sounded like you said he keeps talking down.
No, I don't think that's fucking with someone's business.
All right, so
I
you
don't think that's the same way.
someone into a lawsuit is fucking with someone's business.
You're already in the lawsuit.
I understand that, but he's trying to instigate them into continuing it on because as the specific message that he responded to is the guy saying that, well, we don't want to go to court, yada yada yada, and that's whatever. That is what it is. He's specifically saying that he wants him to consider X, Y, and Z. You don't consider your partner like a Karen contacting the CEO trying to instigate a lawsuit trying to fuck with someone's business.
Did you?
I went to college. I write professionally. I want to know what that fucking means.
Hold up.
This is the important question.
This is a very important part.
Rewind it like 10 seconds. Here, hit the back.
I'm sorry. I'm having a spasm in my brain.
Okay, it's fine.
Ready?
All right. This is the important part.
He wants him to consider X, Y, and Z. You don't consider your partner like a Karen contacting the CEO trying to instigate a lawsuit trying to fuck with someone's business.
Did you accuse him of starting that lawsuit?
No.
Prior to him tweeting that?
No.
No?
No.
You didn't say that he and Vito were behind that?
No.
I think your timeline might.
You remember what Jim said earlier, folks?
Yeah.
Remember the video that he posted saying it was Vito?
Yeah.
And it was more importantly 10 minutes ago in this video.
And he had the
said that
receipts.
Dick started it.
And he had the receipts.
You know,
and all of us here believe they likely did. We believe that was likely what happened because Vito's a horrible scumbag.
And see, there's a thing. It's called discovery, where lawyers on both sides of a case will go and they'll gather this stuff called evidence, which can be anything that you say and anywhere you say it, and any paperwork that exists anywhere for anything. I don't know. It seems like that's the kind of thing a lawyer might use to, say, prove someone's full of shit.
Right.
To be off on that one because if you watch my video, I never make a all I did was connect that specific email to them. The person that emailed to them. Correct.
Right. So prior to him tweeting the people,
correct,
right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so my timeline's not off.
No, your timeline is off. And you're claiming that I said no. You're trying to you're making a claim that I explicitly stated that I wouldn't be so foolish as to do that.
So Dick and Vito didn't do this then.
I don't know.
You don't know now.
No, I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't.
Look at this. Look at
maybe.
Look at his
mouth. Maybe potentially. Nonetheless,
look at his mouth. No, you keep playing it. Just watch his mouth.
You're gonna sit here and honestly fucking say maybe now.
That's
like you don't know.
what did I?
It's the perfect moment.
Yeah. Look at his fucking mouth. Rewind it 5 seconds and do it again. There you go.
Honestly, fucking say maybe now.
That's
like you don't know.
What did I?
Yeah. He got caught in a lie.
The chirp came too when you did it.
Yes. No. Maybe. 3 answers to the same question within 15 minutes. No, within 10 minutes.
I never explicitly say that it is that was what it was that they did. What I will say is that, again, the guy that sent that goofy ass email that tried to, again, gay up his way into kind of a lawsuit, someone took credit for it nonetheless, and that's what specifically happened. That's what it is that I'm saying. I'm connecting them. There was nothing that I said in that regard that was not factual. Nothing.
So you're not accusing Dick and Eric of fucking with your, or Dick and Vito fucking with your business.
Oh no.
Until the tweet.
Oh no. That's not what it is that I'm saying. The guy has been actively trying to fuck with the business. I mean, he's trying to contact the charity.
Would you like to buy a vowel, Mr. July?
Like a fucking carrot.
He tried to prove a case of fraud. He asked questions of the charity and they answered him, right?
I feel like that's racist.
What reason would he have had to contact the charity?
Maybe he thought you were committing a fraud.
Okay, exactly. And obviously, there's no evidence. There's no evidence of any of that existing, and it doesn't stop him from continuously claiming.
Well, usually when there's no evidence of something and you believe it, you look for the evidence to prove it.
Right.
That's what you call an investigation, Mr. July. Right. It's what people do when they don't like the way something's being handled.
Church, no. You don't understand. I did have breakfast this morning, though.
Well, but how would you feel if you didn't? God damn it!
That's one of the interesting things I've been noticing. That's one of the interesting things I've been noticing as this goes on. Is Eric keeps describing this as an I looked into it. It's like you're not a detective, man.
Yeah.
Just because you heard something through the grapevine, don't make it true.
Well,
you ain't a cop.
Something about being a detective.
But that's why you would call the charity and ask the question. They publicly gave you the answer.
Right. We're in Groundhog's Day now.
It is that's what happened. However, you're claiming that's not trying to you. What's the point of him doing that? He's just a good Samaritan. Is he just a good Samaritan trying to look out for people being fraud?
Can you prove that he isn't
fraud? That's what's happening, Nick?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Did he say to you that he apologized for calling you a scammer and said he didn't think you were running a fraud?
No, I don't remember him ever saying that he didn't think I was running he didn't think I was running a fraud. I don't remember him ever saying that.
You don't remember that?
No.
Oh,
I remember. I know he continuously tweeted that I was.
He said it to your face, and you said okay. I mean, he did do that.
Said what to my face?
Exactly.
I've never met the guy in person.
On Flash.
On Flashcast, yeah. Dick Masterson said, "I don't think you're running a scam." After I looked into it, I don't think you are.
In fact, I think Rekieta is mad. I think he's actually crossed the line of incredulous to, I am now fighting.
He doesn't appreciate a liar.
Yeah.
He doesn't appreciate a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Well, because at first he was acting like he couldn't believe this. Now that he's hearing it, he's like, "You motherfucker."
Fucking YouTube.
Also, YouTube, fuck's sake, man.
I mean, a lot of people are watching this video.
He said,
"I'm sorry for calling you a scammer. I don't think you're running a fraud. I'm sorry for saying
I don't remember that latter part. I do remember him apologizing and then right after starting to talk shit. So it didn't seem like it was that genuine.
It probably wasn't genuine.
It doesn't matter if it's genuine. It matters if he said it.
So you don't. On a serious note, you think that you don't think that that's someone trying to actively fuck with someone's business. You wouldn't consider in contacting these people like Karens. You wouldn't consider any of that defaming, claiming fraud that's not there. You wouldn't consider that trying to fuck with someone's business. He's just up and just out of kindness of his heart, he's just trying to figure out and get to the bottom of this. What do you think that he was attempting to do? What was the end game there?
So, question: How?
No. I'm asking you a question. Can you answer that?
Sure. Well, restate it quickly.
All right, I'll restate it quickly. Quickly.
Yeah.
What do you think? For example, I gave you 2 examples, and we know that it is that he tried to do that. What do you think the point was? And for example, contacting the charity. What was he attempting to do there?
I don't know. Maybe fuck with your business.
Okay.
Or maybe ask questions about a fraud that he perceived.
Okay.
So the question I have for you, though, is: are people allowed to investigate a perceived fraud?
Oh, of course.
How would one do that?
Maybe they would contact the charity to try.
And this is where Nick starts moving in.
Something and they go, "This seems like a scam or fraud." And they contact a charity. That's something they could do.
Yeah, they can do that. He did it. He's the one that did it. Of course he could do it.
So that's fucking with someone's business?
Well, he was attempting to fuck with the business, absolutely, because there's nothing there. And it
Well,
also
I mean,
didn't
but
stop
he
him. Hold
doesn't
on.
know that.
It didn't stop him. Yeah, well, yeah, of course he knew that. He's just trying to find smoke where there's no fire, essentially. There was nothing there, Nick, is the point it is that I'm making. There was nothing there before. There was nothing there after the fact. It didn't stop him from continuing to do things as such and claim that I was scamming and that I was doing all these various things. In addition to when I gave you another.
Now, I do want to clarify that Dick Masterson has clarified his opinion. He believes it's kind of scummy to use charities to sell products, especially if the products are bad. So on that level, he considers what Eric did a scam. Secondly, the fact that Eric can't explain how he did the money makes it seem like there's something scammy. Yeah. He hopes there isn't. He hopes that he gave him all the money that he promised, but he should really have just given them 100% of the money he got off these books.
Right.
Another example of trying to instigate a lawsuit.
A lawsuit that's already
a lawsuit
going.
that already exists, trying to instigate
the continuation of a lawsuit.
Yeah. And you don't find anything. You don't find any issue with that.
Keeps doing that. He keeps jumping between instigating and continuing an instigation.
Yeah.
Like he keeps doing that whenever it's necessary. And then when he gets called out on it,
dude, you guys have been
walks it back every time.
I believe the nature of the problem. Okay. Because it's already been stated that he apparently didn't go to college and had lied about that, and that doesn't matter. He's clearly talked to a lawyer. He knows some of the legalese. I know some legalese. It's someone trying to use jargon they don't understand.
Yeah.
And using that jargon in an incorrect combination. Right?
Oh,
he's instigating
we know
the
this,
continuance.
Yeah. We do.
Yeah.
Right.
How do you do, fellow libertarians and
right.
lawyers?
Right. It's either
look,
you're either instigating something or you're not. It's either continuing or it's not. You don't instigate a continuance, and the only way that would possibly work,
hold on. Instigating a continuance of something that hasn't happened just yet.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. The only way that could possibly work linguistically is if something had been started and it was being stopped, and they were trying to keep it going. You know, and that would still be bad language.
The only way it would work, Rune, is if you were from the future and you knew it was going to happen, as long as you went back in time to do certain things.
Well, I will admit,
you would continue instigating the lawsuit that hadn't happened yet to happening in the future.
I will admit that Young Rippa made a lot of money off of Isom. He might have a DeLorean back there. I can't say for
Well, it would be Dick with the DeLorean, though. And Dick does have a lot of money. He has a pretty big Patreon.
Okay.
Fucking YouTube, goddammit.
He loves it when you stream.
I've been fighting for months.
I'm cool. I'm cool with that, Nick. I'm all right.
Like I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that's fucking with your business.
Right.
Like that's starting
disagree.
something
I
new.
disagree.
You're welcome to.
I disagree.
Yeah, you're welcome to. The thing I hate about the charity shit is I have a shit ton of questions that I would love to ask to clarify that stuff, but and I want to be 1,000,000,000% clear, and I've never faltered from this. I do not in any way think that you have done anything wrongful in regards to any charity. Okay? There are questions I would love to ask to clarify this discussion we're having about why someone might do it. But if I ask those questions and you answer them weirdly, it could compromise you, and I don't want to do that.
Have you let me ask you this, and I'll answer whatever questions.
You just said I don't want to talk about it, man. Don't go there.
On these things and had a conversation like this publicly with him, as far as all the claims it is that he's made and all the things it is that he said. Have you asked him about any of that stuff and really got to the nitty gritty on that?
No, he didn't ask me.
Okay, so you've never done that. All right, so go ahead and ask me what questions you have pertaining to this.
When a lawyer says I don't want to talk to you
about
about it, he says I don't want to talk to you about it
on my show after calling me out in fucking public, lying about what I've said.
What did I lie about? Hold on, wait.
Buddy. You don't want to get into this
right now. What did I lie about?
You said this entire time that I've been dishonest and non-objective. Well, hold on, man. You don't think I'm objective because what I said was I think Eric July's on the up and up. I want him to make a fucking fortune. I want him to do everything, but I have not seen sufficient evidence to support that Dick and Pete.
Now you're lying. Now you're lying. You're lying. Yes, you are. You're fucking lying because I've never once made that claim. So now you're lying. You're lying, saying that I said you're objective because you said those three. I said that you weren't
not as objective as I thought.
That's what I said, and that
big gulp of whiskey right there.
I didn't say that, but yeah, I said that.
He's like, hold on.
let's
say that again.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the slow motion.
I'm about to go Super Saiyan, motherfucker.
Do we have the slow motion?
And never once did I say it was because of you saying those.
I will
three
humbly
things.
suggest you do not know the definition of the word objective.
Okay.
Because what I've said,
and I don't think you know the definition of lying because you're claiming that I did something that I did not. Or matter of fact, maybe to be more accurate, you're a fucking hypocrite in that regard because you're lying on me in a position that I don't have.
You.
Say what?
You have said that I am not honest and not objective.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I said no. Yeah, I said I don't think you are as objective as you lead yourself on to believe, or lead maybe your followers and others to believe. That's what it is.
So I'm deceiving my followers. Is that what I'm doing? I'm lying about the situation?
I don't think it's necessarily deception. I think that's just more so a natural response to, if you got a partner, that's your boy. And therefore,
I'm not rolling with my partner. I'm not doing that.
You're not doing what?
I'm not rolling with Dick because he's my friend. If Dick did this, I'd just call him a fucking idiot. And you know why? Dick wouldn't care. Dick told me to disavow him specifically to make my life easier, Eric.
Okay. All right. And that's cool. Like I'm not telling you to disavow him.
You
only claim it is that I'm say what?
You absolutely have done that several times.
That is a fucking lie.
Buddy.
Oh, you did.
Well, maybe you didn't.
We have the receipts.
I just implied that I wanted you to. Nick, you can be friends with whoever the fuck you want to be friends with. That's not a problem. Of course. So that's never been an issue. So me talking about you being objective is me essentially saying that I don't believe you're playing the middle of the road. And that
How
you
would I
don't
play the middle of the road?
this.
Explain what that would look like.
All right, so for me, if you were honest with the situation, with your claim that you, and this is the first thing, and I'm going by the first thing it is that you said when you put yourself. Well, we can't say that because the shit happened on your show. So the first thing it is that you said,
oh fuck, stop this.
Say what?
The first thing I said was, oh fuck, we got to stop this shit. Like,
right.
I want this shit.
Specifically, what it is that I'm saying is that you, when I first saw you post that, injecting yourself into this whole ordeal. And your position, right? Because you can't say you injected yourself because you were part of the stream that popped all this shit off. The only thing it was that I'm saying is that, and I told you this again, I keep referring back to this. I specifically said, if you have issue and you don't want this whole ordeal to be a thing, your issue isn't with me, and there is no reason publicly to play this as if this is a me versus him fight. This is your partner doesn't like me, and I'm the responding. That's it. So
that's been my position the entire time, Eric.
Okay. I will accept that that's your position.
Okay, so that's what I need to do to be objective?
No.
I'm trying to find out because you're saying I'm not objective. So how do I be objective? What is the outcome that would make me objective?
Because you would be honest with what's actually happening.
Implying I'm
genuinely
dishonest,
believe.
okay?
Say what?
You just implied again that I'm dishonest about.
No, I'm saying you're not honest about what the situation actually was. Initially, this was your partner didn't like, or friend. Let me stop saying that. Your friend didn't like me. That is what it is. You tried to play it as if this was an Eric versus your partner thing. It was never that.
No, I said it was Eric's fans responding to Dick, who clearly
you weren't talking about me when you were talking about that whole ordeal initially. You were saying that was it's my
You're
fan.
saying it's
it
not
was your fans.
Okay, all right.
Everybody ganging up on you, but it's everyone
Eric
ganging
is
up
not
on you.
I commend him for staying out of it.
Okay, no, not during that. No, during that period of time. I don't. Well, specifically what it was that I was.
What was that, Rune?
Pick a fucking lane. He's what he's trying to say, but he doesn't have the balls to say, is that Rekieta Law and Riley and his peers were all in this together. He wants to say there's a conspiracy, but he knows he can't fucking substantiate it, so he's trying to get Rekieta Law to admit to one that doesn't fucking exist, and it's fucking awful.
There, you have to tell Dick Masterson that he's the godfather of the cabal that's going against there in July.
I'll send the message to him.
You did engage though, right? Like you did. I'm not, and that's not bad. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not accusing you. You did enter the fray with Dick, right?
I guess
go back and forth with him by responding. Yeah, like
by responding to a review. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. What?
So so am I never allowed to suggest?
No.
That you and Dick...
Stop. Don't try to set it as if. This is I am demanding or demanding that Nick Rekieta do X. That's not what it is that I'm saying.
You claimed I wasn't objective. I'm trying to find out how I would have been objective.
So how you would have been objective is you would have went instead of trying to play that card. I believe, and I could be wrong. Maybe that's a cultural thing. You would have went directly to the.
No,
it's a cultural thing, guys.
No, you don't get to play that fucking card.
I mean, he does because he just did.
He did, but he doesn't get. But it ain't gonna fucking work. Again, I don't give a shit about his culture. This
Rekieta's
is
like that
about
motherfucker on the soccer
fiction.
field at one time. Just pull a Uno reverse out. No fucking yellow card for you today, buddy. Fuck you.
Yeah, but there's a difference, Church. That was actually funny.
No. Rekieta's about to Uno reverse his fucking racism card.
I fucking hope so.
Nice trap card.
I fucking hope so.
So he's going to accuse him of being racist.
Well, he's not going to accuse him of being racist.
That was the initiating party that kept this bullshit going on and would address it with them. If you really did not want this gay shit to actually be a thing, because I believed you.
Because I didn't do it in public, though.
Yeah, because not news to me. You said that you talked to him. You talked to him privately. That was news to me. I never knew that.
I know you didn't know that. I didn't tell you.
Okay, so I'll accept that that's what it is. And now I have new information.
So am I objective now?
Yeah, you're more objective than I gave you credit for. Then,
am I objective or am I more objective?
More objective than you gave yourself. That I gave you credit for. Let's be more.
But I'm not
yes
objective yet.
Yes or no?
No, I don't believe that you're.
Okay, so
then to be fair, all right. So let me be.
It's your
objective.
I know. I said that you're not as objective. More so, I said you're not as objective as I think you lead yourself to believe. And
that's not what you said.
What I have convinced myself and my audience of, and I'm trying to figure out what things it would be for me.
And I just gave you an example. And to be honest, Nick, I just gave you an example. And then when I even give you examples, to me, you can't even concede. Some. This is why it's so difficult for me to believe that you're trying. You're level best, right?
The chirp makes this better.
This guy is actively and took credit for trying to ruin someone's business.
First things first. Let's get back to that.
I think we're going to lead to a change of rules in YouTube's policy after a while, boys.
Your claim is that I'm not objective. I'm asking for information on how to show I am. And when you gave me the information, I said, hey, I've actually done that thing. And then you had to walk that back a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I said, am I objective now? And you said, no. So I asked, okay.
Well, all right.
Well,
So
I don't hold the fuck on, man.
Okay, man.
Yeah, so when I asked for more information, it might be because you have another misconception that you wouldn't have any opportunity to know about my position.
And I've already given you 2 examples, right, of what to me is blatantly obvious, and maybe you disagree, and maybe that's where our disagreement lies, because for you, actively going to fuck with someone's business is not actively going to fuck with someone's business. You just.
I mean, we have different definitions of actively fucking with someone's business. I want to know how anything.
We might have to table this.
People might not like you.
So what? All right. So let me ask you this: what do you consider that? What does that look like if someone's actively fucking with someone's business or attempting to ruin, even though they explicitly state that was what it was that they did, right? Even though I would make that argument, that's not necessarily the attempt is there, right? The intention is there. He's explicitly stated it, but that's not good enough for you.
No, so here's the thing. I asked you because you brought up contacting the charity, right? Now we've separated that out from this other guy who did the charity and the ISOM people. That was a separate email, and so we're not talking about that.
Well, there's no evidence that that's not the contact that the person was referring to. Number one.
Okay. Ignore that I said separate people because we're different on that, and that's fine. What I mean is we're not talking about that set of incidents. We're talking about the one that Dick said where he contacted the charity, right? The one he specifically said, I contacted the charity and asked them questions, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when Dick contacts a charity and asks them questions about what he perceives as a fraud, even if he's just being an asshole and thinks you're defrauding because he hates you, I don't know why, but he sees it. He says, I think this is a fraud. Contacts a charity. I asked you, if someone's investigating fraud, what might they do? Would they contact the charity? You said yes. So the follow-up question that wasn't answered was, how is that fucking with your business? Like, what stands to happen if Dick contacts the charity and asks
regarding
questions?
the intention? I'm speaking regarding the intention, because obviously.
All right. I'll leave it up to you guys. Is that what we do? Do we table it? Because
I'll just leave it on this comment. I don't know if you've noticed this, but every time Eric asks for clarification from Nick starts to clarify, and he immediately jumps in because he just knows what he thinks Nick is going to say before Nick's trying to say it. But what it's painfully obvious is like that's not what Nick is going to say. Like you know what Nick is going to say because he's able to get it out sometimes while he's talking on top of him, but he hasn't noticed it at all.
Here's the thing. We're all passionate guys. I don't know you as well as the others, Jim Jesus, but I'm going to assume you're a passionate guy. You have passions. So we all get really excited. We all want to talk. We all want to make points. We talk over each other. We try not to do that, but it happens. I've told friends to come check us out. And they've been like, well, you guys do good stuff, but I don't want to hang out because it's just not the kind of podcast I'm into. That's fine.
Talking over each other with cameras.
I mean, you also sound like a robot, so okay. But here's why I bring it up. In babies first socializing, talking over someone is a power move.
Yeah.
Okay. And ignoring their questions is a power move. And while I respect those ideas, this is not the environment for that. This is a social conversation where fact and precedence matters. So Eric July talking over Rekieta and just ignoring the question, whatever the question is, doesn't make him look in charge, powerful, or smart. It makes him look stupid and reactionary.
Well, here's my take on it. And I know you were never really part of that community room, but what I think is actually happening here is that Eric July is trying to engage in what we colloquially call as blood sports. And Nick Rekieta is trying to have an honest conversation. And I don't think it's working.
I mean, doesn't Eric July look a lot like Tonka Saw right now?
That's brutal. That's brutal.
No,
but I mean, he's got a messed up beard. He's wearing a wife beater. I'm just saying. And he's got a baseball cap on.
Grow a beard.
And he
he had a weird looking chin creature type thing.
Yeah.
All right. I think we've gotten about as much clarity as we're going to get. So, do we revisit this at some point? Like, when do we revisit this?
I think we might want to do the Dick and Nick one, where Dick and Nick were talking.
We probably should.
Oh, that's 6 hours, man.
Well, like we might want to pick the timestamps when the juiciest bits.
Nick
of that.
gets really drunk. Nick's already apologized for things he said on that stream.
He has. Nick was
that
very.
was the other stream. No, that was the other stream with Dick, where he actually got drunk. Okay, not this one.
Yeah. And I'm also not talking about the hot tub stream where Nick got very drunk and then privated the stream.
Oh man. Nick might have a problem, guys.
I mean,
Nick clearly has a problem.
I mean, the real question I have to ask is, maybe from one of you who's seen more of this than I, is there anything in the rest of this, in the next hour and a half of this,
no,
that is different or significant enough to actually bear remark?
Well, later Eric July says he made up the fact that he knew Dick and Vito did this. I forgot exactly where that is.
Yeah, I don't know. It was such a shit fest.
I mean, you see me like scrolling through this. Do you see how many like timestamps there are where Nick just has his hand in his head? Like, I give up. I want to kill myself. I mean, let's just do that real quick. There's one.
If you look close enough, you can actually see when Nick wants to call his mom to take him home from soccer practice.
There's two. There's three.
Mom, I'm scared. Come pick me up.
There's nothing there. No. We're not even going there where you're trying to insinuate, acting as if there was some error. When I talk about $17 a book, you're talking about for one book. When I said no, I'm specifically referencing the fact that we went out of our way, Nick, to incentivize our readers, our purchasers, to donate more books. In order for us to do that,
also, what he's trying to say here is when you bought one comic book for the charity, it was $17.50. If you bought 10, they were only $13 a piece. Most people chose to buy 10. But what he actually said here was we broke Texas law by charging overhead for the charity contribution and not
also
giving it to charity.
So letting the IRS regulations is what he said, because he understand just to say, listen, we agreed that half the cost of the book we would cover, the other half would be covered by people who purchased it.
But they didn't factor to take out the overhead cost in that portion, and they didn't donate the overhead cost of the money that they took in to the charity.
Well, that would only make it illegal if they claim the overhead costs as a charitable donation on their
which I don't think they did. I'm hoping they didn't. I'm hoping Eric has a good account.
No. But you can't receive funds for the overhead cost of charitable donations.
Right.
No,
period.
I thought the tax code said you just can't claim the overhead for charitable donations, or did I misread that?
You can't ask for it to be donated because then you're donating the cost. You can't do that.
But if you don't claim it on your tax return, I'm just going based off of what I read on.
If you didn't claim it on your tax return, then it would be tax theft because you can't donate it.
Yeah,
and
it would be unrealized income.
Right.
Okay. I was honestly just curious because
anyway, no, it's a lot of repeating things. It's like Jim said, it's Groundhog's Day.
It's Groundhog Day
for another 30 minutes, basically. Like I said, you can.
They've been going in so many circles. I feel like I don't need to go get a corn dog and some nachos.
That's a good bit. And look at that pained look on Eric's face.
There's so many good meme formats in this.
Well, the thing is that in the next couple of minutes from the last time we ran it, again, Nick Rekieta is like, look, man, maybe you don't want to say that. And as I mentioned to Larry at least once previously, Eric takes it as like a challenge, takes umbrage with the suggestion. And it's like, no, this is a lawyer telling you don't say actionable things in a public forum.
Don't do it.
Get down to the specific semantics.
Okay, so we agree for sure at minimum on that he's attempted to ruin the business. So
yeah, but if someone's attempting to ruin a business for a cause they find is great, then I don't have a problem with that.
Right. Well, I don't think that's the argument it was that I've never made was that whether or not you, I guess, have a problem with it. At least we agree that the guy tried to ruin a business, and you've previously
I don't think it's shitty to ruin a business that's immoral.
Right, and I understand that. But you agree, and that's the bottom line of what it is that I'm trying to explain here is that, before it was, I didn't see anything of them trying to ruin the business. And now we're breaking it down. And now you're saying,
no, that's not what he said.
Try to ruin your business. He just thought that he was justified in doing so.
Dude,
yes.
That's not what he said.
Colloquially use ruin your business on, the internet to suggest that someone doesn't have a reason to ruin a business.
Okay, so that's the qualifier.
Well, I mean, I thought that's an implied qualifier, right? Like, again, are you saying that, like, if that my position would be if some guy's out there gassing dogs?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm not saying that it's unjust to fuck like someone's business that, or if they're in the business of doing something that is legitimately criminal. I'm not saying that putting a spotlight on that is the fundamental problem. That's not what it is that I'm arguing. What I'm saying is before, and getting back to the original point, the original dispute was that you didn't see any example of him trying to actively ruin the business. Now that is now switched to, well, yeah, we now have an example of him doing it. It's just not justified. No, and now I get it. No. What you were saying, I guess you were prefacing it saying that, well, him attempting to ruin the business, I was more so speaking that, well, it's only when it's unjustified.
I didn't understand that. I didn't preface.
That was not his position.
No.
His position was never like he never did anything to destroy the business.
Yeah.
Well, at least in part, it was maybe that accusation is a bit strong, and you should be careful with it.
Yeah,
or
because that's an actual accusation.
Or what is your proof of intent?
Sorry, for some reason, Einbrecht is saying his adobo sauce is nearly finished. Soon it goes into my salsa batch and then gets stored in the fridge. I have a lot of cleaning to do. I'll jar that shit tomorrow. Thank you, Einbrecht.
That
is very pertinent.
Appreciate that.
Thanks for the update.
But Einbrecht, did you have breakfast this morning?
You said he made adobo.
Hold up, Aaron. You need to make a "but I had breakfast this morning" shirt.
Oh, I already have an idea for that too.
We could use the boiled egg with
another
bacon
T-shirt,
and
I well, no, I was gonna have like two eggs and like a bacon smiley face sort of thing.
You know what I had?
And then like toast as like Donald Trump's hair.
Oh, and then
yeah.
And then Mr. T cereal on top.
Yeah.
No, you know what I had? You know what I had for breakfast? Meatballs.
Nice. Delicious meatballs.
I had
the best
some balls
part about
too.
eating meatballs.
with that, ladies and gentlemen. I guess
No, we're not ending the show on that one. Fuck you.
No.
I mean
Yeah,
that's
we are.
that's the cherry to end the whole thing on.
Whatever it is that he wants, but he might not believe it. So I don't know what he believes. No, I'm trying to figure out, does he believe it?
And that's what we'll leave it off on.
Yeah.
The trouble
Believe it.
of two broken men.
So
trying to talk to one another, neither one of them being able to communicate to the other one.
So worms, everybody.
Worms.
Fucking worms.
Worms. That's Jim's tagline.
Oh.
Also, thank you, Jim, for coming on and indulging us with the chirp. That was your only contribution to the show.
No, that was his only contribution. He had, that was a very good.
I joke, of course.
By the way, I keep hearing something every so often. I wonder what's going on.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's weird.